Life has a way of testing us when we least expect it. A sudden argument, a job loss, a relationship that crumbles, or even the endless noise of daily life can leave us feeling overwhelmed and powerless. It's as if the world is constantly throwing challenges our way, daring us to remain calm, collected, and in control. And yet, there are those who seem to walk through this chaos with an unshakable peace. How do they do it? What's their secret? It's not about having fewer problems or a life free of hardship. In fact, many of these individuals have faced incredible struggles, setbacks that could break the strongest among us. Yet, their peace is not dependent on the world around them. It comes from within. This kind of strength, this ability to remain calm and centered no matter what happens, isn't reserved for a select few. It's something that anyone can cultivate. The journey to this inner peace begins with a shift, not in the world, but in the way we interact with it. For most of us, life feels like a constant tug of war. We cling tightly to expectations, to control, to the hope that things will go our way. And when they don't, as they inevitably won't, we feel frustrated, anxious, and hurt. But what if you could let go of that rope? What if you could step back and stop being pulled in every direction? This isn't about shutting yourself off or ignoring the reality of life. It's about learning to face it with clarity and strength. Life will always be unpredictable. There will be joys and heartbreaks, victories and failures. But peace doesn't come from trying to manipulate every situation to suit your needs. It comes from mastering the art of responding rather than reacting. At the heart of this mastery lies the ability to observe without attachment. It's not about denying your emotions or suppressing your feelings. It's about seeing them for what they are, temporary, passing states that do not define you. This simple but profound shift can transform the way you approach everything in life. Anger no longer consumes you. Fear doesn't paralyze you. Disappointment doesn't shatter your sense of self. To reach this state, you don't need a perfect life. You don't need all the answers. What you need is the willingness to take a step back and see the world and yourself more clearly. Peace isn't something that comes from outside. It's something you cultivate within. And as you nurture this inner strength, you'll find that life's challenges no longer hold the power they once did. Consider this. How much of your stress comes not from what happens to you, but from how you respond? A harsh word, a missed opportunity, or a minor inconvenience can spiral into hours of overthinking and frustration. Yet, the power to break this cycle is always in your hands. It begins with a simple pause, a moment to breathe, to reflect, and to choose your response. This pause, small as it may seem, is the key to reclaiming control over your peace of mind. As you begin this journey, you'll realize that the things you once thought were so important, the opinions of others, the need for constant validation, the fear of failure, start to lose their grip on you. What replaces them is a sense of clarity and freedom. You no longer feel the need to chase after things that don't truly matter. Instead, you focus on what brings genuine joy and meaning to your life. This isn't a process of isolation or avoidance. It's about engagement, engaging with the world from a place of strength and balance. When you cultivate inner peace, you don't become indifferent or detached from life. On the contrary, you become more present, more aware, and more compassionate. You see the beauty in small moments, the lessons in every challenge, and the interconnectedness of all things. At its core, this journey is about liberation, not from life, but from the chains we place on ourselves. The fear, the doubt, the constant striving for things that never truly satisfy us. These are the barriers to peace. And with every step you take toward understanding and letting go, you chip away at these barriers. This path isn't about perfection. It's not about never feeling anger, sadness, or frustration. Those emotions are part of being human. But when you learn to navigate them with wisdom, they no longer control you. They become like passing storms, powerful but temporary, unable to shake the foundation you've built within yourself. And as you build this foundation, you'll notice a ripple effect. Your relationships improve because you're no longer reacting out of fear or insecurity. Your decisions become clearer because they're guided by wisdom rather than impulse. Even your physical health can benefit as the stress and tension you once carried start to melt away. What makes this journey even more remarkable is that it doesn't require grand gestures or radical changes. It starts with small, consistent steps, choosing to pause instead of reacting, finding moments of stillness in your day, and cultivating habits that bring you closer to a state of balance and clarity. Over time, these small steps create profound transformation. You might think, "This sounds great, but it's not for me. I'm too anxious, too stressed, too set in my ways." But that's exactly why this path is for you. No one starts this journey from a place of perfection. It's a process of growth, of learning, and of discovering the strength that has always been within you. As you begin to shift your perspective, you'll notice something incredible. The things that once seemed so overwhelming, the criticism, the setbacks, the uncertainties, start to lose their power over you. They're still there, but they no longer dictate your happiness. You find yourself responding to life with a calm confidence, knowing that no matter what happens, you have the tools to face it. This isn't just about feeling better. It's about living better. It's about stepping into each day with a sense of purpose and presence, unshaken by the chaos around you. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind, not by changing the world, but by changing the way you interact with it. So, where do you begin? The first step is simple. Decide to start. Decide that your peace is worth protecting, that your happiness is worth nurturing, and that your life is worth living fully. From there, every small effort you make becomes a step toward a stronger, calmer, more resilient you. This journey isn't about escaping life's difficulties. It's about meeting them with strength, clarity, and compassion. And as you continue to grow, you'll discover that true peace isn't found in avoiding the storms. It's found in learning to stand strong through them. That strength is within you, waiting to be unlocked. Let it guide you. There is a kind of freedom that cannot be taken away by circumstances. It doesn't depend on wealth, success, or the approval of others. This freedom comes from letting go, from releasing the grip we have on the things we think we need to feel secure and happy. It's not easy, but those who learn it experience a kind of lightness that most of us can only dream of. This is the path of non-attachment, a cornerstone of Buddhist teachings. It is not about rejecting the world, but about transforming how we engage with it. Detachment is one of the most misunderstood concepts in Buddhism. Many people think it means giving up everything or living without emotions. But the truth is far more profound. Detachment is about freeing yourself from the suffering that comes from clinging to people, outcomes, possessions, and even your own identity. When you let go of this tight grip, you open yourself to a deeper sense of peace and freedom. At the heart of this principle is the realization that clinging causes pain. The more tightly we hold on to something, the more we suffer when it changes, fades, or disappears. And everything in life is subject to change. Relationships evolve, possessions break or lose their value, and the circumstances we strive so hard to control often spiral beyond our reach. Yet, we continue to cling, hoping that this time things will remain as we wish them to be. This hope, this attachment, is what keeps us trapped. Non-attachment is not a cold rejection of love or joy. It is the opposite. It allows us to experience life fully without the constant fear of loss. It teaches us to love without trying to possess, to enjoy without needing to control, and to live without being ruled by the anxiety of what if. By letting go of clinging, we create space for genuine connection and unshakable peace. One of the first lessons in non-attachment is recognizing the difference between desire and craving. Desire in itself is not harmful. It is natural to want happiness, love, and well-being. But craving, the desperate, grasping need to have something at all costs, is where suffering begins. Craving makes us believe that our happiness depends on external factors, and when those factors are threatened or taken away, we feel shattered. Buddhism teaches us to approach desire with wisdom, appreciating what we have without becoming enslaved by the need for more. Learning non-attachment begins with awareness. Start by observing your reactions. How do you feel when things don't go your way? How tightly do you hold on to your plans, your possessions, or your relationships? Awareness doesn't mean judging yourself for these feelings. It means noticing them. When you see how clinging shows up in your life, you can start to loosen its hold. One of the most challenging forms of attachment is the clinging we have to other people. We often tie our happiness to how others treat us, what they say, or whether they stay in our lives. This kind of attachment creates dependence, and with dependence comes fear. The fear of losing the relationship, the approval, or the connection. Buddhist teachings encourage us to love without attachment, to care deeply without turning relationships into a source of anxiety. Loving without attachment doesn't mean loving less. It means loving more freely. It means giving your presence, compassion, and support without trying to control or possess the other person. It's about respecting their autonomy and allowing the relationship to grow naturally. When you stop clinging, your love becomes a gift, not a demand. Another area where attachment sneaks in is with possessions. Our culture encourages us to measure our worth by what we own, and we often develop a strong emotional connection to material things. But when our identity becomes tied to our possessions, we set ourselves up for suffering. Things break, go out of style, or get replaced. Non-attachment doesn't mean you can't enjoy your belongings. It means you don't let them define you. To practice detachment from possessions, start by asking yourself, do I own this, or does it own me? If the thought of losing something fills you with dread, it might be a sign of attachment. Try letting go of things that no longer serve you. Donate what you don't need or use. The act of releasing possessions can be surprisingly liberating, reminding you that your happiness doesn't depend on what you own. Clinging is not limited to physical objects or relationships. We also cling to ideas, beliefs, and identities. We often define ourselves by our job titles, achievements, or the roles we play in life. While these things are important, they are not who we are at our core. Attaching too strongly to a particular identity can lead to rigidity and fear of change. If you lose the job or the role, what happens to your sense of self? Buddhism invites us to see beyond these labels and roles. It teaches that our true nature is not confined to any one identity. When you let go of the need to cling to who you think you are, you open yourself to a greater sense of possibility. You become free to grow, adapt, and embrace life's changes without losing your sense of self. Letting go also applies to outcomes. How often do we pin our happiness on things turning out exactly as we planned? We create expectations, and when reality doesn't align with them, we feel disappointed, frustrated, or even betrayed. This kind of attachment keeps us trapped in a cycle of constant striving and dissatisfaction. Non-attachment doesn't mean you stop setting goals or working toward your dreams. It means you learn to release your grip on the outcome. When you focus on the effort rather than the result, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You can give your best to a project, a relationship, or a goal without being devastated if things don't go as expected. This doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care without letting the result define your happiness. This shift in perspective allows you to enjoy the process, no matter what the outcome. Detachment is also about embracing impermanence. Everything in life is temporary. Clinging to the idea that something will last forever, whether it's a relationship, a possession, or a moment of happiness, sets us up for disappointment. Recognizing impermanence helps us appreciate the present without trying to hold on to it. It teaches us to cherish moments while they last and to let them go with grace when they pass. Non-attachment doesn't come easily. It requires practice and patience, but each step you take brings a sense of freedom and peace. Start small. Notice when you're clinging and gently remind yourself to let go. Practice gratitude for what you have without needing to make it permanent. And remember, non-attachment is not about avoiding life. It's about embracing it fully, without fear. When you let go, you discover that the peace you've been searching for was never outside of you. It was always within, waiting to be uncovered. This path is not about giving up. It's about gaining something far greater. The ability to live with an open heart and an unshakable sense of freedom. When you begin to release the weight of attachment, a remarkable thing happens. The mind becomes lighter, the heart steadier, and suddenly the challenges of life feel less daunting. But letting go is only one part of the journey. To truly thrive amidst life's storms, one must build a foundation of inner strength, a core of resilience that remains unshaken by the world's unpredictability. This strength doesn't come from physical power or external success. It arises from the teachings of Dhamma, the Buddha's timeless path to wisdom, clarity, and unwavering stability. Resilience is often misunderstood. People think it's about toughening up, suppressing emotions, or powering through challenges without flinching. But true resilience, as taught in Buddhism, is rooted in understanding, acceptance, and adaptability. It's the quiet strength that comes from seeing things as they are and responding with wisdom rather than reacting out of fear or anger. This resilience allows you to stand firm, not because life becomes easier, but because you've cultivated the tools to navigate its difficulties with grace. At the core of building resilience is a deep awareness of life's impermanence. Everything changes, joy and sorrow, success and failure, even the people and circumstances we hold dear. Resistance to this truth is often the source of our greatest suffering. When you embrace impermanence, you stop fighting the natural flow of life. Instead of clinging to what was or dreading what might be, you learn to meet each moment with openness. This shift doesn't eliminate pain, but it prevents pain from becoming suffering. Resilience also grows from understanding the nature of your mind. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest obstacle. Thoughts, when left unchecked, can spiral into worry, fear, and self-doubt. The Buddha taught that the key to mastering the mind is mindfulness, being present and aware of your thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Mindfulness allows you to step back and observe your mental habits. Are you feeding negative patterns? Are you attaching to fears that may never come to pass? By bringing awareness to these tendencies, you can begin to shift them. Another essential element of resilience is cultivating patience. Patience is not passive. It's an active strength that allows you to endure difficulties without losing your balance. It's the ability to stay grounded in the face of delay, hardship, or frustration. Patience teaches you to trust the process, to understand that growth often takes time, and that challenges are not roadblocks, but stepping stones on your path. With patience, you learn to wait without despair, and to act without haste. Compassion, both for yourself and others, is another cornerstone of resilience. Life's challenges can be harsh, and it's easy to turn that harshness inward, blaming yourself for not being strong enough or capable enough. But resilience flourishes when you treat yourself with kindness. When you stumble, instead of criticizing yourself, you offer understanding. This self-compassion creates a safe space within you, a space where you can heal, reflect, and grow stronger. Compassion for others is equally vital. When faced with difficulties, it's natural to feel isolated, as though you're the only one struggling. But recognizing that suffering is a universal experience helps you connect with others rather than withdrawing. This connection is a source of strength. By extending kindness to those around you, even in small ways, you create a sense of purpose that lifts you beyond your own challenges. Resilience is also built through wisdom, particularly the wisdom gained from self-reflection. The Buddha emphasized the importance of introspection, turning inward to examine your thoughts, actions, and intentions. This practice helps you understand the root causes of your struggles and identify patterns that no longer serve you. It's not about dwelling on your flaws, but about learning from them. Through reflection, you gain clarity, and with clarity comes the ability to respond to challenges more skillfully. One of the most practical ways to cultivate resilience is through daily practice. Meditation, for instance, is a powerful tool for strengthening the mind. By sitting quietly and observing your breath, you train yourself to stay present. This practice may seem simple, but its effects are profound. Over time, meditation teaches you to approach life's difficulties with a calm and steady mind. It's like building a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger your resilience becomes. Resilience also requires a sense of purpose. When you have a clear sense of what matters most to you, it becomes easier to navigate challenges. Purpose acts as an anchor, keeping you steady when the waters of life get rough. It reminds you that your struggles are not in vain, that they are part of a larger journey toward growth and fulfillment. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as the desire to live with integrity, to care for your loved ones, or to contribute to your community. Gratitude is another practice that strengthens resilience. It's easy to focus on what's wrong when life feels hard, but gratitude shifts your perspective. By acknowledging the things you're thankful for, even in the midst of struggle, you remind yourself of the goodness that still exists. Gratitude doesn't deny the difficulties, it balances them. It helps you see that while life may be challenging, it is also rich with beauty and opportunity. Resilience is not about never feeling pain or fear. It's about learning to move through those emotions without being consumed by them. It's about finding the stillness within you that cannot be shaken by external events. This stillness comes from the practice of equanimity. a state of balance and calm that allows you to face life's highs and lows with equal grace. Equanimity doesn't mean indifference. It means being fully present without being overwhelmed. The path of resilience is not linear. There will be days when you feel strong and days when you feel like giving up. This is natural. What matters is your commitment to keep going, to keep practicing, and to keep growing. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to build your inner strength. Each moment of difficulty is a chance to deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Resilience is not something you achieve once and for all. It's a lifelong practice, a skill that you continue to refine with every experience. And as you cultivate this strength, you begin to see that life's challenges, while difficult, are also gifts. They push you to grow, to adapt, and to discover the depth of your own courage. At its heart, resilience is about trust. Trusting yourself, trusting the process, and trusting that even in the midst of difficulty, you have the capacity to endure and overcome. It's about knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have the tools to face it with wisdom, strength, and grace. As you walk this path, remember that resilience is not about perfection. It's about progress. Each step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to a life of unshakable peace and strength. The teachings of Dhamma are your guide, offering timeless wisdom to help you navigate life's challenges with clarity and compassion. Embrace these teachings and let them lead you to a place of inner resilience that nothing can shake. When you cultivate resilience, you build a foundation that can withstand life's challenges. But resilience alone isn't enough to fully navigate the chaos of the world. To remain steady in the face of unpredictability, you need a tool that brings clarity to every moment. That tool is mindfulness, the practice of being fully present. Mindfulness doesn't just calm the mind. It transforms how you experience life itself. It becomes a shield, protecting you from being overwhelmed by the noise and turbulence of the outside world. Mindfulness is about paying attention, not just to what's happening around you, but to your inner world as well. It's the act of noticing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. The modern world often pulls us in many directions at once, making it easy to feel scattered and disconnected. Mindfulness anchors you, bringing your focus back to what truly matters, the present moment. This simple practice has profound effects, not only in quieting the mind, but in creating space between stimulus and response. In that space lies the power to choose your actions with wisdom and clarity. In moments of chaos, the mind tends to race. Worries about the future or regrets about the past flood in, creating a whirlwind of thoughts that feel impossible to escape. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle by drawing your attention to the here and now. It helps you step back and observe your thoughts rather than being consumed by them. This shift allows you to respond to challenges from a place of calm rather than reacting impulsively. One of the most transformative aspects of mindfulness is its ability to deepen your connection to yourself. Often, we go through life on autopilot, unaware of the subtle ways stress and tension build up in our bodies and minds. By practicing mindfulness, you become attuned to these signals. You notice when your shoulders are tense, when your breath is shallow, or when your thoughts are spiraling. This awareness is the first step in releasing the stress and finding balance. Mindfulness also cultivates a sense of gratitude for the present moment. It encourages you to slow down and truly experience what is happening right now, whether it's the taste of your morning tea, the warmth of sunlight on your skin, or the sound of a loved one's voice. Mindfulness brings these experiences into sharper focus. In doing so, it reveals the richness of life that often goes unnoticed in the rush of daily living. When external circumstances are chaotic, mindfulness serves as a stabilizing force. Instead of being swept away by the storm, you learn to observe it with curiosity and composure. This doesn't mean you ignore problems or deny their impact. Rather, mindfulness helps you face them with a clear and steady mind. You can acknowledge difficulties without becoming overwhelmed by them, and this perspective allows you to address challenges more effectively. Mindfulness is not limited to meditation, although meditation is a powerful way to cultivate it. It can be practiced in everyday activities, turning routine moments into opportunities for presence and awareness. Washing dishes, walking, or even breathing can become acts of mindfulness when done with full attention. This integration of mindfulness into daily life makes it a practical tool for navigating the demands of modern living. Another benefit of mindfulness is its impact on relationships. When you are fully present, you listen more deeply and connect more authentically with others. Mindfulness allows you to hear not just the words someone is saying, but the emotions behind them. This deep listening fosters empathy and strengthens bonds, creating a foundation of trust and understanding in your interactions. Mindfulness also helps you develop a healthier relationship with your emotions. Instead of suppressing or avoiding difficult feelings, you learn to sit with them and explore their root causes. This practice transforms emotions from something to fear into valuable teachers. Anger, for example, might reveal unmet needs, while sadness can highlight areas of your life that require care and attention. By embracing emotions with mindfulness, you gain insight and grow stronger in the process. One of the greatest challenges of mindfulness is the mind's tendency to wander. Thoughts about the past and future are natural, but they pull you away from the present. The key to mindfulness is not to eliminate these thoughts, but to gently guide your attention back to the moment. This act of returning again and again is where the real growth happens. It builds mental discipline and trains your mind to remain focused even in the midst of distraction. Mindfulness is also a practice of acceptance. It teaches you to embrace life as it is, without constantly striving to change or control it. This doesn't mean you become passive or stop pursuing goals. Instead, you learn to approach life with an open heart, accepting the present moment while still working toward meaningful outcomes. This balance of acceptance and action is at the core of mindful living. The benefits of mindfulness extend beyond the mind. Research has shown that mindfulness can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and improve overall well-being. By calming the nervous system, mindfulness creates a sense of relaxation that allows the body to heal and recharge. It's a reminder that the mind and body are deeply connected, and caring for one supports the health of the other. Mindfulness also cultivates resilience. When you practice being present, you develop the ability to stay calm and grounded in the face of difficulty. This resilience doesn't mean you won't feel pain or struggle. It means you'll have the tools to navigate those experiences with grace and wisdom. Mindfulness helps you see challenges as temporary and manageable rather than insurmountable. Over time, mindfulness transforms your relationship with time itself. Instead of rushing through moments to get to the next thing, you learn to savor each experience. This shift brings a sense of fulfillment and contentment that is not dependent on external achievements. It's a reminder that life's beauty is found not in grand events, but in the small, everyday moments. In cultivating mindfulness, patience becomes a vital companion. The benefits of mindfulness are not immediate. They unfold gradually with practice. There will be days when it feels effortless and days when it feels impossible. But with patience and persistence, mindfulness becomes a way of being, a natural part of how you engage with the world. Mindfulness also helps you see the interconnectedness of all things. It reveals the ways in which your thoughts, actions, and experiences are linked, creating a deeper sense of compassion for yourself and others. This awareness fosters a sense of unity and belonging, dissolving the barriers that often separate us from one another. At its core, mindfulness is a practice of coming home to yourself. It's a way of reconnecting with your inner wisdom and finding peace in the present moment. It doesn't require special equipment, advanced techniques, or hours of free time. All it asks is your attention, a willingness to pause, to breathe, and to be. In this simplicity lies its power. Mindfulness is not about perfection, it's about practice. It's about showing up for yourself, even on the days when life feels overwhelming. And as you continue to practice, you'll find that the present moment becomes a refuge, a place of stillness and strength, no matter what is happening around you. This practice of presence is a gift you give to yourself, one that grows richer with time. It's a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, there is always a quiet center within you. Through mindfulness, you learn to live from that center, navigating life's challenges with clarity, compassion, and grace. As mindfulness anchors you in the present moment, it reveals something profound. The mind, left unchecked, can become the greatest source of suffering. It is a constant storyteller, weaving narratives of fear, doubt, and distraction that cloud your clarity and disturb your peace. Yet, within this same mind lies the potential for liberation, a stillness and clarity that transform how you experience life. The Buddha taught that guarding the mind is the key to unlocking this clarity, protecting your inner peace, and cultivating lasting wisdom. Guarding the mind begins with awareness. The mind is often compared to a garden. Left untended, it becomes overrun with weeds. These weeds are unhelpful thoughts, reactive emotions, and negative mental habits that grow unchecked if not carefully observed. The act of guarding your mind is like tending this garden, removing harmful growth, nurturing beneficial seeds, and ensuring that the space remains vibrant and healthy. This practice doesn't happen automatically. It requires vigilance, care, and intentionality. One of the most important steps in guarding the mind is recognizing the nature of your thoughts. Thoughts are not inherently good or bad, but the stories you attach to them can shape your emotions and actions in powerful ways. For example, a passing thought of worry about the future might spiral into anxiety if you latch onto it, creating scenarios that may never come to pass. The Buddha emphasized the importance of observing thoughts without judgment. By watching them as they arise and pass, like clouds drifting across the sky, you can begin to see their transient nature and loosen their grip on your emotions. Another aspect of guarding the mind is understanding the difference between thoughts that serve you and those that harm you. Positive, constructive thoughts uplift your spirit and guide you toward growth, while negative, destructive thoughts drain your energy and perpetuate suffering. Developing the discernment to identify these patterns is essential. When harmful thoughts arise, it's not about suppressing them, but redirecting your focus to something more meaningful. This shift takes practice, but becomes easier with time as you strengthen your ability to choose your mental focus. Guarding the mind also means being mindful of what you allow into your mental space. Just as a healthy diet is crucial for physical well-being, a healthy mental diet is vital for your inner peace. The information you consume, the conversations you engage in, and the environments you immerse yourself in all influence your thoughts. The Buddha taught that being selective about these influences helps preserve clarity. By choosing uplifting and nourishing inputs, you create fertile ground for positive mental habits to grow. Another essential teaching is the practice of right effort. The mind's natural state is not always peaceful. It often drifts toward distraction, negativity, or restlessness. Right effort involves actively cultivating wholesome mental states while letting go of unwholesome ones. This is not a passive process, but an ongoing practice of vigilance and care. It means gently redirecting your mind when it strays into unhelpful territory and reinforcing patterns that lead to peace and clarity. The role of self-compassion in guarding the mind cannot be overstated. The inner critic is one of the most common sources of mental unrest. Harsh self-judgment, guilt, and shame can cloud your clarity and erode your peace. Self-compassion acts as a counterbalance, reminding you that you are human and that imperfection is part of the journey. Instead of berating yourself for every misstep, you learn to treat yourself with kindness and understanding, creating a mental environment where growth and healing can flourish. A guarded mind is also a disciplined mind. Discipline, in this context, is not rigid or harsh. It is the steady commitment to your own well-being. It means practicing mindfulness, meditation, or other mental exercises regularly, even when it feels difficult. Over time, this discipline becomes second nature, creating a foundation of stability that supports you in every aspect of life. The more you train your mind, the more resilient and focused it becomes. Another important aspect of guarding the mind is developing equanimity, the ability to remain balanced and centered regardless of external circumstances. Equanimity does not mean indifference or apathy. It means being fully engaged with life while maintaining a sense of inner calm. This balance allows you to navigate challenges with clarity and wisdom, preventing emotional turbulence from clouding your judgment. Equanimity is cultivated through practice, as you learn to observe situations objectively and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. One of the greatest challenges in guarding the mind is overcoming habitual reactivity. The mind often jumps to conclusions, assumptions, or judgments based on past experiences. These mental habits can lead to conflict, stress, or misunderstanding. The Buddha taught the importance of pausing before reacting, creating a space for mindful reflection. In this pause lies the power to choose a response that aligns with your values and intentions, rather than being driven by automatic patterns. Gratitude is another powerful tool for guarding the mind. When you focus on what is good and abundant in your life, you shift your mental perspective from lack to abundance. Gratitude creates a positive feedback loop, reinforcing thoughts that bring joy and contentment. This practice doesn't mean ignoring difficulties. It means balancing them with an appreciation for the beauty and blessings in your life. Gratitude softens the edges of hardship, allowing you to approach challenges with a more open and resilient mind. Developing mental clarity also involves simplifying your mental landscape. The mind often becomes cluttered with unnecessary worries, distractions, or to-do lists. Simplifying your thoughts means focusing on what truly matters, letting go of mental noise that doesn't serve you. This practice creates space for deeper insights and a greater sense of peace. Clarity arises not from adding more, but from removing what is unnecessary. Mindfulness plays a crucial role in guarding the mind. By staying present, you prevent your thoughts from wandering into the past or future, where regret and worry often reside. Mindfulness anchors you in the here and now, where clarity and peace are most accessible. Each moment of mindfulness strengthens your ability to remain grounded, even in the face of challenges. Another dimension of guarding the mind is cultivating joy. Joy is not the fleeting excitement of external pleasures, but the deep, abiding contentment that comes from within. When you nurture joy, you create a mental state that is naturally resilient to negativity. Joy acts as a shield, protecting your mind from the impact of stress or hardship. It reminds you that even in the midst of difficulty, there is still light to be found. Compassion for others also plays a role in mental clarity and peace. When you approach others with kindness and understanding, you reduce the mental turmoil caused by judgment, resentment, or conflict. Compassion creates harmony in your relationships, which in turn fosters a sense of peace within your own mind. This practice is not always easy, especially in challenging situations, but it is deeply transformative. The Buddha emphasized the importance of self-awareness in guarding the mind. Self-awareness allows you to recognize the triggers that disrupt your peace and the patterns that reinforce it. This knowledge is empowering, as it gives you the tools to navigate life with greater skill. Through self-awareness, you learn to steer your mind away from harmful tendencies and toward thoughts and actions that align with your highest self. A guarded mind is not free from challenges, but it is equipped to handle them with grace. It is a mind that has been trained to seek clarity, cultivate peace, and nurture wisdom. This process is not about achieving perfection, but about making progress. Each step you take in guarding your mind brings you closer to a state of inner harmony that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. As you continue this journey, remember that guarding the mind is a practice, not a destination. It is an ongoing commitment to your own well-being, a daily act of care and intention. With time, patience, and effort, you will discover the profound peace that comes from a mind that is clear, focused, and deeply connected to the present moment. This clarity becomes a guiding light, illuminating your path and helping you navigate life with wisdom and compassion. Guarding the mind gives you clarity and peace, but the strength of a well-guarded mind is magnified when it is paired with compassion. Compassion, or metta in Buddhist teachings, is more than just kindness. It is an active force that softens the edges of conflict, dissolves negativity, and transforms relationships. It allows you to meet difficult moments and challenging people with a heart open to understanding, rather than closing off in frustration or anger. Compassion is not a weakness. It is a profound source of strength that shields you from the corrosive effects of negativity. Compassion begins with the recognition that suffering is universal. Every person you encounter is carrying their own burdens, facing challenges you may never know about. This awareness shifts your perspective from judgment to empathy. Instead of reacting to negativity with defensiveness or anger, compassion invites you to see the underlying pain that might be driving someone's actions. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior. It means responding to it with wisdom rather than adding fuel to the fire. Practicing metta starts with yourself. Self-compassion is the foundation of loving kindness, as it teaches you to treat your own struggles with the same care and understanding you would offer to a dear friend. Too often, people are their own harshest critics, replaying mistakes and failures in their minds with relentless judgment. This inner negativity creates a fertile ground for external conflicts. When you learn to show yourself kindness, you break this cycle and create a reservoir of compassion that naturally extends to others. Extending compassion outward begins with intention. The Buddha taught the practice of metta bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation, as a way to cultivate a heart filled with goodwill. In this practice, you start by focusing on someone you care deeply for, wishing them happiness and peace. As the feeling of loving kindness grows, you expand it to include neutral people, those you struggle with, and eventually all beings. This practice is not about forcing yourself to feel a certain way, but about gently training your heart to open. One of the most transformative aspects of metta is its ability to deflect negativity. When faced with anger or hostility, the natural reaction is often to mirror that energy, escalating the situation. Compassion breaks this cycle by offering a different response. Meeting negativity with loving kindness doesn't mean becoming passive or ignoring harmful behavior. It means refusing to let someone else's actions dictate your inner state. Compassion creates a shield that protects your peace while fostering understanding. Compassion also helps to dissolve resentment. Holding on to grudges or bitterness is like carrying a heavy load everywhere you go. It drains your energy and clouds your mind. Forgiveness, guided by compassion, is not about condoning hurtful actions, but about releasing their hold on you. When you forgive, you free yourself from the burden of anger and open the door to healing. Compassion reminds you that forgiveness is not a gift you give to others. It's a gift you give to yourself. Another powerful aspect of metta is its ability to transform relationships. When you approach others with loving kindness, you create an environment of trust and mutual respect. Compassionate communication, listening deeply, speaking kindly and responding thoughtfully, strengthens connections and resolves conflicts. Even in difficult interactions, compassion can shift the dynamic, turning moments of tension into opportunities for understanding. Compassion is not limited to grand gestures. It is often expressed in the smallest acts of kindness. A smile, a kind word, or a simple acknowledgement can have a profound impact on someone's day. These moments of connection remind us of our shared humanity and create ripples of positivity that extend far beyond what we can see. Compassion is contagious. When you show kindness, it inspires others to do the same, creating a cycle of goodwill that benefits everyone. One of the challenges of practicing compassion is balancing it with boundaries. Loving kindness does not mean allowing others to take advantage of you or tolerating harmful behavior. True compassion includes the wisdom to recognize when to step back and protect your own well-being. This balance ensures that your compassion remains a source of strength rather than becoming a source of depletion. The practice of metta also helps to cultivate humility. Compassion reminds you that everyone is on their own journey, with struggles and lessons unique to them. This perspective softens judgment and encourages patience, both with yourself and with others. It shifts your focus from criticizing to supporting, creating a sense of unity rather than division. Humility born of compassion fosters a deep sense of peace, as it frees you from the need to constantly prove yourself or compete with others. Compassion is not always easy, especially in the face of cruelty or injustice. It requires courage to meet hostility with kindness and strength to choose understanding over retaliation. But this courage is what makes compassion so powerful. It transforms the energy of conflict into an opportunity for growth, both for yourself and for others. Compassion is not about being naive or ignoring reality. It is about choosing a response that aligns with your highest values. The practice of metta also extends to how you view the world as a whole. Compassion encourages you to see beyond your immediate circle and consider the well-being of all living beings. This expansive perspective fosters a sense of interconnectedness, reminding you that your actions have far-reaching effects. Whether it's through mindful choices, acts of service, or simply wishing others well, compassion helps you contribute to a more harmonious world. Compassion also has profound effects on your own well-being. Studies have shown that acts of kindness release hormones like oxytocin, which promote feelings of happiness and reduce stress. By focusing on the well-being of others, you shift your attention away from your own worries, creating a sense of perspective and balance. Compassion not only strengthens your relationships, but also nourishes your own heart and mind. One of the most profound teachings of the Buddha is that compassion is a skill, not just an emotion. This means it can be cultivated, strengthened, and deepened through practice. Just as a muscle grows stronger with use, the more you practice compassion, the more naturally it arises in your daily life. This growth is a reminder that compassion is not about being perfect. It is about progress, about choosing to act with kindness even when it feels difficult. Compassion is a source of resilience. In times of hardship, it gives you the strength to endure and the perspective to see beyond your own pain. It reminds you that you are not alone in your struggles and that helping others can be a powerful way to heal yourself. Compassion turns challenges into opportunities to connect, to grow, and to transform. Through the practice of metta, you create a life that is guided by love rather than fear, by understanding rather than judgment. This way of living is not only more peaceful, but also more fulfilling. Compassion becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path toward deeper connection, greater wisdom, and lasting peace. In cultivating loving kindness, you discover a strength that is rooted not in force, but in the gentle power of an open heart. Compassion opens the heart to understanding, but there are times when the challenges of life require more than kindness. There are moments when the world's noise grows loud, when emotions are provoked, and when reactions seem almost automatic. In these moments, another strength is needed, the calm, unshakable balance of equanimity. This quality, known as upekkha in Buddhist teachings, is not about detachment from life, but about engaging with it from a place of deep, unwavering steadiness. Equanimity is the art of non-reaction. It is the ability to remain centered and composed regardless of praise or blame, success or failure, joy or sorrow. It does not deny emotions or experiences. Rather, it allows you to meet them without becoming consumed by them. It is the quiet confidence that arises when you trust in your ability to navigate life's highs and lows without losing yourself. The root of equanimity lies in understanding impermanence. Everything in life is in constant flux. Relationships, circumstances, emotions. When you attach your sense of self-worth to external events, you give them the power to dictate your inner state. Equanimity breaks this cycle by teaching you to find stability within, instead of seeking it in the ever-changing world around you. This understanding creates a profound sense of freedom, as you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. One of the first steps in cultivating equanimity is observing your habitual reactions. The mind has a tendency to label experiences as good or bad, desirable or undesirable. These judgments trigger automatic responses, grasping for what feels pleasant and pushing away what feels uncomfortable. This cycle creates unnecessary tension and often blinds you to the deeper reality of the situation. Equanimity invites you to pause, to step back from these immediate judgments, and to see things with greater clarity. This practice is not about suppressing emotions or pretending that challenges don't affect you. It's about creating space between stimulus and response, allowing you to choose your actions consciously rather than reacting impulsively. This space is where wisdom arises. When you respond from a place of equanimity, your actions are guided by understanding rather than driven by reactivity. Equanimity also requires the cultivation of patience. In moments of provocation, the urge to react quickly can be overwhelming. Patience gives you the strength to sit with discomfort, to let the initial wave of emotion pass without acting on it. This patience is not passive. It is an active practice of holding steady, trusting that clarity will come with time. Patience allows you to remain grounded, even in the midst of chaos. Another key aspect of equanimity is letting go of the need for control. Much of the stress and frustration we experience comes from trying to control outcomes that are beyond our influence. Equanimity teaches you to focus on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while releasing attachment to results. This shift not only reduces stress, but also brings a sense of ease and acceptance. Equanimity is also deeply connected to self-awareness. To remain balanced in the face of provocation, you must first understand your own triggers. What makes you feel defensive? What situations spark anger or fear? By identifying these patterns, you gain insight into the roots of your reactions. This awareness empowers you to approach challenging situations with greater understanding and restraint. One of the most challenging aspects of practicing equanimity is dealing with criticism and blame. The natural response to criticism is often defensiveness, while praise can inflate the ego. Equanimity allows you to receive both with grace. It teaches you to see criticism as an opportunity for growth rather than a personal attack, and to view praise as a reflection of the other person's perspective rather than an ultimate truth. This balance helps you stay grounded no matter what others say or think. Equanimity also extends to how you view success and failure. The highs of success can be as destabilizing as the lows of failure if you become attached to them. Equanimity reminds you that both are temporary and neither defines your worth. It encourages you to focus on the effort and intention behind your actions, rather than becoming overly fixated on the outcome. This perspective fosters resilience, as you are less likely to be discouraged by setbacks or overly reliant on external validation. Compassion and equanimity are closely linked. While compassion opens the heart to understanding and connection, equanimity provides the stability needed to sustain that openness in challenging moments. Without equanimity, compassion can be overwhelming. Without compassion, equanimity can become detached. Together, they create a balance that allows you to engage with the world fully while maintaining your inner peace. Equanimity also helps you navigate relationships with greater ease. When emotions run high, it's easy to become entangled in conflicts or misunderstandings. Equanimity allows you to step back and see the bigger picture. It helps you approach others with patience and understanding, even when their behavior is difficult. This doesn't mean tolerating harm or avoiding necessary boundaries. It means responding with wisdom and clarity, rather than being swept away by emotional reactions. The practice of equanimity also fosters humility. It reminds you that you are not the center of the universe, and that other people's actions are often more about them than about you. This perspective reduces the sting of perceived slights and helps you approach situations with greater objectivity. Humility, born of equanimity, frees you from the need to constantly defend your ego, creating space for deeper connection and understanding. Equanimity is not something you achieve overnight. It is a skill that grows with practice and patience. Each moment of challenge is an opportunity to strengthen this quality, to learn from your reactions, and to choose a different response. Over time, equanimity becomes a natural part of how you engage with the world, a steady anchor that keeps you grounded in the face of life's turbulence. At its core, equanimity is about trust. Trust in your ability to navigate challenges, trust in the impermanence of all things, and trust in the wisdom that arises from stillness. It is the confidence that no matter what life brings, you have the inner resources to meet it with grace and clarity. This trust transforms not only how you experience difficulties, but also how you approach every aspect of your life. Through the practice of equanimity, you cultivate a state of mind that is both peaceful and powerful. It is a peace that cannot be shaken by external events, and a power that comes from being rooted in the present moment. This balance is not just a personal refuge, but a gift you bring to the world. When you remain calm and composed, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of stability and harmony. Equanimity is not about removing yourself from the world, but engaging with it in a way that honors your inner peace. It is the art of remaining steady, not by avoiding life's storms, but by learning to stand strong in their midst. Through this practice, you discover a depth of strength and clarity that transforms how you experience the world and how the world experiences you. Equanimity teaches you to find stability in the storm, but to truly embody this calm, it is essential to understand and embrace the transient nature of all things. Life's impermanence, known as anicca in Buddhist teachings, is not just a philosophical idea. It is the fundamental truth that shapes every moment of existence. Everything changes: the seasons, our emotions, the people in our lives, and even our own bodies. To resist this truth is to invite suffering, but to live in harmony with it is to discover profound peace. Impermanence can be unsettling, especially when it touches the things we hold dear. Yet, it is also what makes life precious. If everything were permanent, there would be no growth, no movement, no opportunity for transformation. Embracing impermanence is not about resigning yourself to loss. It is about learning to appreciate the beauty of each moment, knowing it will not last forever. This perspective transforms how you engage with life, allowing you to savor the present while letting go of the need to cling. Living in accord with nature begins with observing the cycles of change around you. Nature offers endless reminders of impermanence, the way day turns to night, leaves fall and grow again, and rivers flow ceaselessly toward the sea. These rhythms are not flaws in the design of life, they are the design. By aligning yourself with these natural cycles, you move from resisting change to flowing with it. This shift reduces the inner tension caused by trying to hold on to what must inevitably transform. One of the greatest challenges of impermanence is its impact on relationships. People come into our lives and often they leave, whether through distance, disagreement, or death. This reality can be painful, but it is also a source of immense wisdom. When you accept the impermanence of relationships, you stop taking them for granted. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to connect deeply, to express gratitude, and to love without reservation. Instead of clinging to people out of fear of losing them, you learn to cherish them in the time you have together. Impermanence also shapes how we experience emotions. Joy and sorrow, hope and despair, anger and love. These feelings rise and fall like waves. Trying to hold on to positive emotions or push away negative ones only creates more suffering. When you embrace the transient nature of emotions, you allow them to move through you without becoming trapped in them. This openness helps you navigate both the highs and lows of life with greater ease and balance. Another profound teaching of impermanence is its effect on how we view material possessions. Things break, wear out, or lose their appeal. When we attach our happiness to these objects, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Living in accord with nature means appreciating the utility and beauty of possessions without letting them define us. It is not about rejecting material things, but about relating to them with a sense of perspective. This mindset frees you from the endless cycle of craving and consumption, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Impermanence also teaches us about the nature of the self. The person you are today is not the same as the person you were 10 years ago, or even yesterday. Your thoughts, feelings, and experiences are constantly shaping and reshaping who you are. This fluidity can be liberating when you let go of rigid ideas about your identity. Instead of clinging to a fixed sense of self, you embrace the opportunity to grow, adapt, and become. In accepting impermanence, you also cultivate a sense of gratitude. Knowing that nothing lasts forever makes you more mindful of the present moment. You begin to see the small, fleeting joys in everyday life. A kind word, a sunset, the sound of laughter, and recognize their value. Gratitude becomes a way of honoring impermanence, acknowledging that these moments are gifts to be treasured. One of the fears that often arises with impermanence is the fear of loss. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a dream, or a stage of life, these transitions can feel overwhelming. But when you align yourself with the truth of impermanence, you begin to see loss as a natural part of the cycle of life. It does not diminish the meaning of what was, it deepens it. Loss teaches us about love, resilience, and the strength of the human spirit. It is not the end of the story, but a chapter in the ongoing narrative of existence. Impermanence also encourages us to live with intention. When you understand that time is finite, you stop postponing the things that matter. You prioritize meaningful experiences, relationships, and pursuits, knowing that the present moment is all you truly have. This urgency is not about rushing through life, but about living fully and authentically. It is a call to action, a reminder to align your actions with your deepest values. Aligning with impermanence also fosters resilience. Change can be unsettling, but it is also a source of strength. Each challenge, each transition, each ending is an opportunity to grow and adapt. When you stop resisting change and start embracing it, you discover a well of inner strength you never knew you had. This resilience is not about suppressing your feelings, but about moving through them with courage and grace. Impermanence is not a concept to be understood intellectually. It is a truth to be lived. Meditation on impermanence can help deepen this understanding. Reflecting on the transient nature of your thoughts, sensations, and experiences grounds you in the reality of change. This practice does not create detachment. It fosters a profound connection to life as it is, in all its beauty and fragility. Living in accord with impermanence also changes how you view success and failure. Both are temporary, and neither defines your worth. This perspective frees you from the pressure to achieve at all costs or to avoid mistakes. Instead, you focus on the process, on showing up, giving your best, and learning from each experience. Success and failure become stepping stones on a larger journey rather than endpoints in themselves. The understanding of impermanence also brings peace to the fear of death. Death is often seen as the ultimate loss, but in the Buddhist view, it is a natural part of the cycle of life. Just as day turns to night and winter gives way to spring, death makes way for renewal. This perspective does not deny the pain of loss, but it reframes it, offering a sense of continuity and meaning. By embracing the impermanence of life, you learn to live more fully and love more deeply, knowing that every moment is a precious, fleeting gift. Impermanence reminds us of our interconnectedness. Everything that exists is part of a larger web of change and influence. A leaf falls to the ground, decays, and nourishes the soil that gives rise to new life. This interdependence is not just a poetic idea, it is the fabric of reality. By aligning with this truth, you cultivate a sense of humility and respect for the world around you. You see yourself not as separate from nature, but as an integral part of it. The practice of living in accord with impermanence is not about letting go of everything. It is about holding things lightly. It is about cherishing without clinging, engaging without attaching, and loving without fearing loss. This way of being creates a spaciousness in your heart and mind, allowing you to navigate life's changes with grace and wisdom. Through impermanence, you find freedom, not freedom from change, but freedom within it. You learn to dance with the ebb and flow of life, to embrace its rhythm rather than resist it. This freedom is not about escaping reality, it's about stepping fully into it, with all its unpredictability and wonder. It's a liberation that comes not from holding on, but from letting go. In this letting go, you discover the profound peace that comes from living in harmony with the ever-changing nature of life. Accepting impermanence reshapes your relationship with life, helping you flow with change rather than resist it. Yet, even with this understanding, the challenges of life can test your limits. During these moments, another vital quality comes to the forefront: patience. Known as Khanti in Buddhism, patience is not just about waiting. It is the silent strength that allows you to endure difficulties without succumbing to suffering. It's the calm that steadies you in the face of frustration, the resilience that keeps you grounded when life feels overwhelming, and the grace that allows you to respond with wisdom rather than reaction. Patience is often misunderstood as passivity, as though enduring hardship means surrendering your agency. But in Buddhism, patience is an active virtue. It is the ability to remain composed and balanced, not because you have given up, but because you trust in the process of time and effort. It is the quiet courage that allows you to face obstacles without becoming consumed by them, knowing that every challenge, like every storm, will eventually pass. The foundation of patience lies in acceptance, accepting the reality of the present moment without resisting or wishing it were different. This acceptance does not mean resigning yourself to suffering. It means acknowledging what is, so you can navigate it with clarity. When you resist the present, you create tension and frustration, but when you accept it, you open the door to peace and possibility. This shift in mindset transforms how you experience challenges, allowing you to face them with a sense of calm rather than chaos. Patience is closely tied to mindfulness. When your mind is scattered, jumping between past regrets and future worries, it is easy to become impatient. Mindfulness brings your focus back to the present, helping you see the situation as it truly is, rather than through the lens of frustration or anxiety. This clarity allows you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Mindfulness and patience work hand in hand, each reinforcing the other to create a state of inner stability. Another essential aspect of patience is self-compassion. When faced with difficulties, people often become their own harshest critics, blaming themselves for not handling things better or for struggling in the first place. This self-judgment only adds to the burden. Patience teaches you to approach yourself with kindness, recognizing that growth takes time and that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Self-compassion turns impatience into understanding, creating a space for healing and resilience. Patience also requires a deep trust in the process of life. It is easy to become discouraged when results don't come as quickly as you'd like, whether in relationships, work, or personal growth. But patience reminds you that progress often unfolds in ways that are not immediately visible. Seeds take time to sprout, and the most meaningful changes often happen slowly. Trusting in this process allows you to remain steady, even when the outcome seems distant or uncertain. In relationships, patience is a cornerstone of harmony. Misunderstandings, conflicts, and differences are inevitable when interacting with others. Without patience, these moments can escalate into frustration or resentment. Patience allows you to pause, to listen, and to respond with empathy rather than anger. It creates a space for understanding to grow, transforming potential conflict into connection. This practice of patience strengthens your relationships and deepens your capacity for compassion. Patience also helps you navigate the natural rhythms of emotion. Anger, sadness, and fear can feel overwhelming in the moment, but they too are impermanent. Patience teaches you to sit with these emotions, to let them rise and fall without being swept away. This practice is not about suppressing your feelings, but about holding them with gentleness and curiosity, allowing them to teach you without overwhelming you. Another dimension of patience is its relationship with effort. In a world that often prioritizes instant gratification, it can be challenging to stay committed to long-term goals or endeavors. Patience reminds you that meaningful achievements require time, dedication, and perseverance. It allows you to keep going, even when progress feels slow or invisible. This steady effort, guided by patience, builds the foundation for lasting success and fulfillment. Patience also plays a critical role in decision-making. When faced with important choices, the urge to act quickly can lead to impulsive decisions that may not align with your values or goals. Patience creates the space to reflect, to weigh your options, and to choose with intention. This deliberate approach reduces the risk of regret and ensures that your actions are guided by wisdom rather than haste. One of the most powerful aspects of patience is its ability to transform suffering. When you resist or fight against hardship, you amplify your pain. But when you approach difficulties with patience, you soften their impact. This does not mean that suffering disappears. It means that you learn to endure it with grace, recognizing it as a part of life's ebb and flow. Patience turns suffering into an opportunity for growth, allowing you to emerge stronger and more resilient. Patience is also a form of strength in the face of injustice. When confronted with unfairness or adversity, the instinct is often to react with anger or retaliation. While these responses are understandable, they can escalate the situation and create more harm. Patience, on the other hand, allows you to respond with clarity and purpose, addressing the injustice without being consumed by it. This strength is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to act in a way that aligns with your values and contributes to a greater good. The practice of patience is deeply connected to the cultivation of gratitude. When you focus on what is lacking or what is not happening quickly enough, it is easy to become frustrated. Gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you see the progress you have made and the blessings that already exist in your life. This perspective reduces impatience and fosters a sense of contentment, even in the midst of challenge. Patience is not just about enduring, it is about enduring with dignity. It is the quiet power that allows you to hold your head high, even when the weight of the world feels heavy. It is the inner calm that steadies you when everything around you feels uncertain. This dignity does not come from denying your struggles, but from facing them with courage and grace. In cultivating patience, you also cultivate humility. Patience reminds you that you are not in control of everything, and that life often unfolds on its own timeline. This humility fosters a sense of acceptance and peace, freeing you from the constant pressure to force outcomes. It allows you to work toward your goals with dedication while remaining open to the unexpected. The practice of patience is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. Each moment of patience strengthens your ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. Over time, this practice becomes a part of who you are, a steady presence that supports you through life's challenges. It is a reminder that true strength is not loud or aggressive. It is quiet, steady, and enduring. Patience also deepens your connection to others. When you approach people with patience, you create an environment of trust and respect. This practice is especially powerful in difficult relationships, where patience can help bridge gaps and heal wounds. By showing patience to others, you also inspire them to approach you with the same grace, creating a cycle of mutual understanding and support. At its core, patience is an expression of love. Love for yourself, for others, and for the journey of life. It is a commitment to showing up fully, even when the path is challenging. It is a promise to yourself that you will not give up, no matter how long it takes. This love, rooted in patience, transforms not only how you experience life, but also how you contribute to the world around you. Through patience, you discover a strength that does not waver, a peace that does not falter, and a resilience that carries you through even the darkest times. This strength is not something you need to find. It is already within you, waiting to be cultivated. With each act of patience, you uncover more of this inner power, creating a life that is grounded in stability, wisdom, and quiet, enduring grace. Patience reveals the silent strength within you, guiding you through challenges with calm and grace. But alongside endurance lies another transformative quality: gratitude. Gratitude is more than polite acknowledgement or fleeting appreciation. It is a profound shift in how you see the world. It unlocks the ability to find joy, not in what you wish for, but in what you already have. This practice, central to Buddhist teachings, illuminates the path from dissatisfaction to deep contentment. Gratitude begins with awareness. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to overlook the countless small blessings that surround you: a warm meal, the kindness of a stranger, the steady rhythm of your breath. These moments of grace often go unnoticed, buried beneath layers of desire and comparison. Gratitude brings these moments into focus, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. It is a lens that sharpens your vision, helping you see life not as a series of lacks, but as a canvas of abundance. In Buddhism, gratitude is deeply tied to the understanding of interdependence. Nothing exists in isolation. Every aspect of your life is supported by countless unseen hands. The food you eat, the clothes you wear, the knowledge you possess, All these things come to you through the effort and kindness of others. Recognizing this interconnectedness fosters a profound sense of humility and appreciation. Gratitude reminds you that you are never truly alone, that your life is enriched by the contributions of others in ways you may never fully comprehend. Gratitude also shifts your relationship with time. The mind often clings to the past or races toward the future, fueling regret and anxiety. Gratitude roots you in the present, drawing your attention to the gifts of the here and now. It reminds you that life unfolds moment by moment, and that joy is found not in the distant horizon, but in the simple beauty of the current breath, the current heartbeat, the current sunrise. A core aspect of gratitude is its ability to transform challenges. Difficulties, while painful, are often the greatest teachers. They reveal your strength, refine your character, and deepen your understanding of life. Gratitude allows you to see the value in these experiences, to recognize that even in struggle, there is something to be thankful for. This perspective does not diminish the difficulty of the challenge, but it does soften its edges, allowing you to navigate it with greater resilience. Gratitude also nourishes your relationships. When you express appreciation for the people in your life, you strengthen your bonds and create an atmosphere of warmth and connection. Gratitude shifts the focus from what is missing in your relationships to what is present. It reminds you to cherish the kindness, support, and love you receive, no matter how small. This practice of gratitude fosters mutual respect and deepens the sense of belonging within your community. Another profound teaching of gratitude is its role in reducing envy and comparison. The human mind has a tendency to focus on what others have and what you lack. This comparison fuels dissatisfaction and creates a cycle of craving. Gratitude breaks this cycle by redirecting your attention to what you already possess. It shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, helping you see that your life is already full of blessings, regardless of external circumstances. Gratitude also brings clarity to the impermanence of life. When you understand that everything is transient, the joys, the sorrows, the people you love, you learn to cherish each moment as it comes. Gratitude helps you hold these moments lightly, appreciating them fully without clinging. This practice not only enhances your joy, but also prepares you to let go with grace when the time comes. Gratitude is deeply linked to mindfulness. When you are fully present, you become more attuned to the gifts of the moment. The warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of laughter, the taste of a simple meal. Mindfulness brings these experiences to life, and gratitude amplifies their richness. Together, they create a state of being where contentment arises naturally, free from the need for more. In cultivating gratitude, self-reflection plays a vital role. Reflecting on what you are thankful for deepens your understanding of life's blessings. This reflection can take many forms: a gratitude journal, a moment of silent thanks before a meal, or a heartfelt conversation with someone you appreciate. These practices anchor gratitude in your daily life, transforming it from a fleeting feeling into a lasting habit. Gratitude also extends to yourself. Too often, people focus on their flaws or what they perceive as lacking within themselves. Gratitude shifts this perspective, encouraging you to acknowledge your strengths, your growth, and the effort you put into your journey. It reminds you that you are worthy of your own appreciation and that self-compassion is an essential part of a fulfilling life. The practice of gratitude is not about ignoring life's difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It is about finding balance. acknowledging the challenges while also recognizing the gifts. This balance creates a sense of stability, allowing you to face hardships without losing sight of the goodness that still exists. Gratitude does not deny pain. It transforms how you hold it. Gratitude also fosters generosity. When you recognize the abundance in your own life, you naturally feel inspired to share it with others. This generosity does not have to be grand. It can be as simple as a kind word, a helping hand, or a smile. Acts of giving, rooted in gratitude, create a ripple effect of positivity, spreading joy to others and deepening your own sense of fulfillment. Gratitude is a practice that grows with time. Each moment of appreciation strengthens your ability to see the good, even in the midst of difficulty. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, a way of being that infuses your life with peace and joy. Gratitude transforms your outlook, helping you approach life with an open heart and a calm mind. At its core, gratitude is an act of liberation. It frees you from the cycle of craving and dissatisfaction, showing you that contentment is not something to be chased, but something to be found within. It is a reminder that joy does not depend on external circumstances, but arises from how you choose to engage with life. Gratitude connects you to the world in profound ways. It reveals the beauty of interdependence, the richness of the present moment, and the resilience of the human spirit. Through gratitude, you discover that even in life's simplest moments, there is a depth of joy waiting to be uncovered. This realization transforms how you see the world and how you move through it, grounding you in a sense of contentment that nothing can shake. Gratitude opens the heart and reveals the fullness of life, but even in moments of profound appreciation, fear and shame can creep into the mind, casting shadows over joy. These emotions, deeply human and universal, often feel insurmountable. Yet, within Buddhist teachings lies the wisdom to face them, not with resistance or avoidance, but with courage and self-compassion. These qualities transform fear and shame from sources of suffering into opportunities for growth and liberation. Fear arises from uncertainty, the unknown, and the perceived threats to what we hold dear. It is rooted in the desire to control outcomes and protect what feels safe. Buddhism teaches that fear is often a projection of the mind, a response to what might happen rather than what is happening. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you can begin to dismantle fear's grip. Mindfulness becomes a tool to observe fear without judgment, to see it clearly for what it is, and to respond with clarity rather than reactivity. Shame, on the other hand, stems from the inner critic, a harsh, often relentless voice that magnifies flaws and mistakes. It ties self-worth to perceived failures, creating a cycle of self-blame and unworthiness. Buddhist teachings offer a pathway out of this cycle through self-compassion. When you turn toward yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend, you disrupt shame's power. Self-compassion reminds you that imperfection is not a flaw, but a shared human experience. Both fear and shame thrive on isolation. They convince you that you are alone in your struggles, that your fears or perceived inadequacies are unique. Buddhism counters this isolation with the principle of interconnectedness. Recognizing that everyone experiences fear and shame in some form dissolves the barriers these emotions create. You realize you are not alone. You are part of a larger, shared journey of growth and healing. One of the first steps in overcoming fear is acknowledging it without letting it define you. Fear often grows stronger when ignored or suppressed, but when brought into the light of awareness, it begins to lose its intensity. This practice requires courage, the willingness to face discomfort and uncertainty with an open heart. Courage does not mean the absence of fear. It means acting with wisdom and purpose despite it. Shame, too, can be disarmed through awareness. By observing the thoughts and beliefs that fuel shame, you gain insight into its origins. Often these beliefs are inherited from societal expectations, cultural norms, or past experiences. Recognizing that shame is not an inherent truth, but a conditioned response, allows you to question its validity. This questioning is not an act of defiance, but one of liberation, freeing you from the weight of unexamined judgments. Compassion plays a central role in transforming both fear and shame. Compassion for yourself creates a safe space to explore these emotions without judgment. It allows you to hold your fears and doubts gently, to listen to what they're telling you without being overwhelmed by them. Compassion for others extends this understanding outward, helping you see that the people around you are also navigating their own fears and feelings of inadequacy. This shared humanity fosters connection and reduces the sense of isolation that fear and shame often bring. Fear is closely tied to attachment, the desire to hold on to what feels safe and familiar. Buddhism teaches that this attachment creates suffering because it resists the natural flow of life. Letting go of attachment does not mean abandoning what you value. It means releasing the need to control every outcome. This release allows you to engage with life more fully, to face uncertainty with curiosity rather than resistance. Shame, similarly, is rooted in comparison. It arises when you measure yourself against others or against an idealized version of who you think you should be. Buddhism encourages you to turn inward, to focus on your own path rather than comparing it to others. This inward focus helps you appreciate your unique journey, to see your growth and efforts as valuable, regardless of how they measure up to external standards. Meditation is a powerful practice for working with fear and shame. Through meditation, you create a space to observe these emotions without being consumed by them. You learn to sit with discomfort, to let it arise and pass without attaching a narrative to it. This practice builds resilience, teaching you that fear and shame are transient states, not permanent truths. Another key teaching is the concept of impermanence. Both fear and shame often feel overwhelming because they seem unending. Recognizing their impermanent nature helps you see that these emotions, like all things, will pass. This understanding does not diminish their intensity, but provides a sense of perspective, allowing you to navigate them with greater ease. Buddhism also emphasizes the importance of intention in overcoming fear and shame. When you approach these emotions with the intention to learn and grow, rather than to escape or suppress, you transform your relationship with them. They become opportunities for self-discovery rather than obstacles to be avoided. This shift in perspective empowers you to face even the most challenging emotions with a sense of purpose. Community support is another invaluable resource. Sharing your experiences with trusted individuals, whether through conversation, meditation groups, or other forms of connection, helps to lighten the load. Hearing others share their struggles and triumphs reminds you of the universal nature of fear and shame, reducing their power to isolate and overwhelm. Gratitude, too, plays a role in this process. Fear and shame often focus your attention on what is lacking: safety, approval, worth. Gratitude redirects this focus to what is present, to the strengths and resources you already possess. It reminds you that even in moments of fear or doubt, there is still much to appreciate and build upon. Forgiveness is a transformative practice for overcoming shame. Forgiving yourself for past mistakes, for not meeting your own expectations, or for simply being human releases the hold of shame. Forgiveness is not about condoning or forgetting, but about accepting and letting go. It is an act of self-compassion that frees you to move forward without the weight of regret. In facing fear, mindfulness becomes a beacon. It anchors you in the present, preventing your mind from spiraling into worst-case scenarios or clinging to past failures. Mindfulness teaches you to respond to fear with curiosity, to explore its roots and its message rather than reacting impulsively. This exploration often reveals that fear is not the enemy, but a guide, pointing you toward areas of growth and transformation. Shame, too, can be met with mindfulness. By observing the thoughts and feelings that arise with shame, you begin to see the patterns and triggers that sustain it. This awareness creates a space for choice, a space where you can respond with kindness rather than self-criticism. Over time, this practice weakens the hold of shame, replacing it with a sense of self-acceptance and peace. The Buddhist principle of non-attachment is particularly helpful in navigating these emotions. Non-attachment does not mean indifference. It means engaging with life fully without clinging to outcomes. When you release the need to control or define yourself by external measures, you free yourself from much of the fear and shame that arises from unmet expectations. Through consistent practice, fear and shame lose their power to dictate your actions or define your sense of self. They become moments of reflection rather than sources of suffering. Overcoming these emotions is not about eradicating them. It is about transforming your relationship with them. It is about meeting them with wisdom, compassion, and courage, and allowing them to become catalysts for growth and self-discovery. Buddhist teachings remind you that fear and shame are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to deepen your practice, to reconnect with your inner strength, and to cultivate a greater sense of compassion for yourself and for others. These emotions, when approached with patience and understanding, reveal the profound resilience of the human spirit and the boundless capacity for healing and growth within each of us. Facing fear and shame with courage and compassion reveals the depths of your resilience and the transformative power of acceptance. Yet, to sustain this strength and maintain a peaceful mind, there must be a foundation, a guiding principle that aligns your actions with your inner values. In Buddhism, this foundation is sila, or ethical conduct. Sila is not merely a set of rules. It is a way of living that cultivates harmony, integrity, and stability within yourself and your interactions with the world. It is the bedrock upon which inner peace and clarity are built. Ethical conduct in Buddhism begins with intentionality. Actions are not judged solely by their outcomes, but by the motivations behind them. This focus on intention encourages mindfulness in every decision, helping you to act in ways that reflect kindness, honesty, and respect for all beings. When your actions are rooted in wholesome intentions, they not only bring positive outcomes, but also protect your inner stability. You are free from the guilt or regret that arises when actions conflict with your values. One of the core teachings of Sila is the principle of non-harming. This principle extends to all living beings, reminding you to approach life with compassion and care. Avoiding harm is not limited to physical actions. It includes words and thoughts as well. Harsh words or unkind judgments can cause pain as surely as physical acts, both to others and to yourself. By practicing non-harming, you create an environment of safety and trust, allowing relationships to flourish and your mind to remain at ease. Truthfulness is another pillar of Sila. Honesty builds trust, not only with others, but also within yourself. When you speak and act truthfully, you align your external behavior with your inner values, creating a sense of integrity and self-respect. Deception, on the other hand, creates inner conflict and anxiety, as you must constantly manage the gap between reality and the falsehoods you create. Truthfulness simplifies your life and fosters a sense of freedom, as you are no longer weighed down by the burden of dishonesty. The practice of non-stealing, another aspect of Sila, extends beyond material possessions. It includes respecting others' time, energy, and boundaries. Taking without consent, even in subtle ways, creates imbalance and tension in your interactions. Living with respect for others' rights fosters mutual understanding and harmony. This practice also nurtures contentment, as you learn to appreciate what you have rather than coveting what belongs to others. Mindfulness plays a critical role in maintaining ethical conduct. It helps you stay aware of your thoughts, words, and actions, allowing you to pause and reflect before making decisions. This awareness prevents impulsive behaviors that may lead to harm or regret. By cultivating mindfulness, you create a space between stimulus and response, where you can choose actions that align with your values and intentions. Practicing ethical conduct also involves restraint. In a world filled with temptations and distractions, restraint helps you maintain focus on what truly matters. It is not about denying yourself pleasure, but about avoiding actions that lead to unnecessary suffering. Restraint empowers you to act with discernment, ensuring that your choices contribute to your well-being and the well-being of others. Generosity, too, is an integral part of Sila. Giving freely of your time, energy, or resources fosters a sense of abundance and connection. It shifts your focus from self-centered desires to the joy of contributing to others' happiness. Generosity breaks down barriers of separation and cultivates a spirit of gratitude and interdependence. It reminds you that true wealth is not measured by what you have, but by what you share. Ethical conduct is not about perfection, it is about progress. The Buddha recognized that humans are fallible and that growth is a gradual process. Practicing Sila means committing to continuous improvement, learning from mistakes, and striving to align your actions more closely with your values over time. This commitment fosters resilience and self-compassion, as you recognize that each step, no matter how small, contributes to your spiritual growth. Metta, or loving kindness, underpins ethical conduct. When your actions are guided by a genuine desire for the well-being of all beings, they naturally align with the principles of Sila. Loving kindness transforms interactions, creating a ripple effect of positivity and connection. It encourages you to act not out of fear or obligation, but out of a heartfelt commitment to creating harmony and reducing suffering. Practicing Sila also involves examining and transforming unwholesome habits. Habits such as anger, greed, or jealousy can lead to actions that harm yourself and others. Through mindfulness and reflection, you can identify these patterns and work to replace them with more wholesome tendencies. This transformation is not about suppressing negative emotions, but about channeling them in constructive ways. It is about cultivating patience, generosity, and understanding in the face of challenges. The practice of Sila is deeply connected to the principle of interconnectedness. Your actions do not occur in isolation. They ripple outward, affecting others and the world around you. Ethical conduct acknowledges this interconnectedness, encouraging you to act in ways that promote harmony and reduce harm. By living ethically, you contribute to a larger sense of balance and peace, both within yourself and in the world. One of the greatest benefits of ethical conduct is the sense of inner stability it creates. When your actions align with your values, you experience a deep sense of integrity and self-respect. This alignment frees you from the inner conflict that arises when behavior contradicts beliefs. It creates a foundation of trust in yourself, knowing that you are acting in ways that reflect your highest intentions. Ethical conduct also fosters humility. It reminds you that you are part of a larger whole, that your actions have consequences beyond yourself. This humility encourages a sense of responsibility and accountability, helping you to act with greater care and mindfulness. It also fosters gratitude, as you recognize the many ways in which others' ethical actions contribute to your well-being. Living ethically requires courage. It is not always easy to act in alignment with your values, especially when faced with pressure or temptation, but this courage strengthens your character, building resilience and confidence. Each act of integrity reinforces your commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. Through the practice of Sila, you cultivate a sense of freedom from the guilt, anxiety and regret that arise from unwholesome actions. Freedom to live authentically, guided by your deepest values. This freedom is not a release from responsibility, but a liberation through responsibility. A sense of peace that comes from knowing you are living in harmony with yourself and the world around you. As you deepen your practice of ethical conduct, you begin to see its transformative power. It is not just a set of rules to follow, but a way of being that brings stability, clarity, and joy to your life. It is a path of connection, a reminder that your actions matter, and that each choice contributes to the unfolding of a more harmonious and compassionate world. Through Sila, you discover the profound strength and peace that come from living a life of integrity. Living a life of ethical conduct creates a foundation of integrity and inner stability, but to navigate the complexities of life's challenges fully, a more comprehensive framework is needed. The Noble Eightfold Path offers just that, a practical and profound guide for aligning your thoughts, actions and intentions with wisdom and compassion. This path is not a rigid set of rules, but a flexible living practice that addresses the whole of human experience, helping you respond to life's difficulties with clarity and balance. The Eightfold Path is rooted in the understanding that life often presents difficulties, and the way we respond to them determines our inner peace. It is a holistic approach that addresses morality, mindfulness, and mental discipline, weaving these elements together to create a harmonious way of living. Each aspect of the path is interconnected, strengthening and supporting the others. When practiced together, they form a comprehensive guide to reduce suffering and increase understanding. Right view is the first step and serves as the foundation for the entire path. It encourages you to see life clearly, to understand the impermanence of all things, and to recognize the interconnected nature of existence. This perspective transforms how you experience challenges. Instead of clinging to fixed outcomes or resisting change, you develop an openness to life as it unfolds. Right view fosters wisdom, helping you discern the causes of suffering and the way to overcome it. Right intention complements right view by focusing on the motivations behind your actions. It calls for intentions rooted in kindness, compassion, and a genuine desire to reduce harm. When your intentions align with these principles, your actions naturally follow. This alignment not only resolves inner conflict, but also creates harmony in your relationships and interactions with the world. Right intention teaches you to approach challenges with a heart guided by understanding rather than fear or anger. Right speech emphasizes the power of words. Words can heal or harm, unite or divide. This step of the path encourages you to speak truthfully, kindly, and with purpose. Right speech also involves mindful listening, creating a space for genuine communication and understanding. By choosing your words carefully, you reduce misunderstandings and foster connection, even in difficult conversations. The practice of right speech builds trust, both with others and within yourself. Right action focuses on ethical behavior. It calls for actions that align with the principles of non-harming, honesty, and respect. This step is not about following rules for their own sake, but about acting in ways that contribute to well-being and reduce suffering. Right action transforms how you approach challenges, encouraging you to act with integrity and thoughtfulness, even in complex situations. It reminds you that every action has consequences and that you have the power to choose actions that create positive outcomes. Right livelihood extends the principle of ethical conduct into your work and daily activities. It encourages you to engage in professions and practices that support rather than harm others. Right livelihood is not limited to paid work. It includes all the ways you contribute to the world. When your livelihood aligns with your values, it brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment, reducing the inner tension that arises from ethical conflicts. Right effort is the practice of cultivating and maintaining wholesome qualities while letting go of unwholesome ones. This step emphasizes balance, avoiding extremes of overexertion or passivity. Right effort is not about forcing yourself to be perfect, but about nurturing positive habits and attitudes. It teaches you to approach challenges with persistence and patience, building resilience and strength over time. Right effort is the energy that sustains your practice and keeps you moving forward. Right mindfulness calls for presence and awareness. It encourages you to be fully engaged in each moment, observing your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings without judgment. Mindfulness creates a space for clarity and calm, allowing you to respond to challenges thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. Right mindfulness is the foundation of inner peace, helping you remain steady and centered even when life feels chaotic. Right concentration focuses on mental discipline and the ability to maintain focus. It involves practices such as meditation that train the mind to stay present and engaged. Right concentration sharpens your awareness and deepens your understanding, allowing you to approach challenges with a clear and focused mind. This step supports all other aspects of the path, providing the mental clarity needed to act with wisdom and compassion. The Eightfold Path is not a linear journey, but a dynamic process. Each step informs and reinforces the others, creating a comprehensive approach to navigating life's challenges. For example, mindfulness enhances your ability to speak and act ethically, while ethical behavior supports a calm and focused mind. This interconnectedness makes the path adaptable to the complexities of life, providing guidance that is both practical and profound. One of the most powerful aspects of the Eightfold Path is its emphasis on personal responsibility. It teaches that while external circumstances influence your life, your inner peace is ultimately determined by your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes. This perspective is liberating as it empowers you to create a life of purpose and harmony regardless of external challenges. The path also fosters a sense of interconnectedness. By living ethically and mindfully, you contribute to a more compassionate and balanced world. Your actions ripple outward, influencing those around you and creating a cycle of positivity and understanding. The Eightfold Path reminds you that your well-being is deeply connected to the well-being of others, encouraging a life of service and contribution. Through the practice of the Eightfold Path, you cultivate wisdom, compassion, and inner stability. These qualities transform how you experience challenges, helping you face them with courage and clarity. The path is not about avoiding difficulties, but about engaging with them in ways that reduce suffering and promote growth. It is a guide to living with integrity and balance, a way to navigate the complexities of life with grace and wisdom. The Eightfold Path is not a destination, but a lifelong practice. Each moment offers an opportunity to align your actions with its principles, to deepen your understanding, and to grow in compassion. This practice is not about perfection, but about progress, about taking steps, however small, toward a life of greater peace and purpose. By following the Eightfold Path, you create a life that reflects your highest values, a life guided by wisdom and compassion. This path is not just a response to challenges. It is a way of being that transforms how you experience the world and how the world experiences you. Through this practice, you discover the profound peace and resilience that come from living in harmony with yourself and with all of existence. The Eightfold Path guides you toward clarity, compassion, and a steady mind, offering tools to navigate the complexities of life with grace. Yet even with this wisdom, there are moments when words strike like arrows, provoking anger or hurt. Criticism and insults, so often seen as sources of pain, can become some of the most powerful teachers on the path of mindfulness and non-attachment. They hold a mirror to the ego, revealing the attachments and insecurities that bind the heart. Through the lens of Buddhist practice, these moments of offense are not merely to be endured, but to be transformed into profound opportunities for growth. Insults often trigger an immediate emotional response: anger, humiliation, or defensiveness. This reaction arises from the ego's need to protect its image, to maintain a sense of superiority or control. Buddhism teaches that this instinctive reaction is not an inevitable truth, but a conditioned response. By observing the mind's patterns, you begin to see that the sting of an insult is not caused by the words themselves, but by your attachment to how you perceive yourself. Letting go of this attachment is the first step in transforming insults into tools for liberation. Criticism and offense reveal where the ego is most vulnerable. If harsh words provoke anger, it may point to an attachment to pride or a fear of inadequacy. If they evoke sadness, it may highlight a longing for approval or a fear of rejection. By approaching these emotions with curiosity rather than judgment, you uncover the deeper truths about yourself. This self-awareness is not about blame, but about understanding, a compassionate inquiry into the roots of your reactions. Mindfulness plays a critical role in responding to insults. When an insult is directed at you, there is often a split-second window before your reaction takes over. Mindfulness allows you to pause in that space, to observe the insult and your emotions without immediately reacting. This pause creates a moment of freedom, a chance to choose your response rather than being swept away by instinct. Over time, this practice strengthens your ability to remain composed and thoughtful, even in the face of provocation. Non-attachment is another key teaching in handling criticism. The mind often clings to praise and approval, using them as measures of self-worth. When this attachment is present, insults feel like personal attacks, threats to the carefully constructed identity the ego clings to. Non-attachment frees you from this cycle, reminding you that your worth is not determined by others' opinions. This perspective brings a profound sense of freedom, allowing you to hear criticism without taking it personally. The practice of compassion transforms how you perceive the person delivering the insult. Rather than seeing them as an adversary, you begin to recognize their own pain or misunderstanding. Harsh words often come from unresolved struggles within the speaker, and responding with compassion shifts the dynamic. This compassion does not condone harmful behavior, but acknowledges the shared humanity behind it. By meeting offense with understanding, you break the cycle of anger and create space for peace. Criticism, when viewed through a Buddhist lens, can also be a valuable source of feedback. Not all harsh words are baseless. Some may hold truths that can guide your growth. Receiving criticism mindfully allows you to separate what is constructive from what is not. This discernment requires humility, the willingness to learn even from uncomfortable experiences. By seeing criticism as an opportunity to refine yourself, you transform it into a tool for self-improvement. Another powerful practice is gratitude. While it may seem counterintuitive, offering gratitude for criticism or insults shifts your perspective. These moments challenge your ego and provide opportunities to strengthen patience, resilience, and equanimity. Gratitude for these lessons does not erase the discomfort, but reframes it, turning adversity into an integral part of your journey. The teachings of impermanence also apply to handling offense. Insults, like all things, are fleeting. The sting of harsh words fades over time, leaving behind only the lessons they carry. Recognizing this transience helps you respond with calm, rather than being overwhelmed by the moment. It reminds you that no insult can define you, as your true nature is beyond the reach of words. Equanimity, the ability to remain balanced in the face of praise and blame, is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. This state of inner steadiness comes from understanding that both approval and criticism are temporary and subjective. Equanimity allows you to receive insults without being shaken and to accept praise without becoming attached. This balance brings a profound sense of inner peace, as your sense of self is no longer tied to the shifting tides of external opinion. Forgiveness is another transformative practice in dealing with offense. Holding on to anger or resentment towards someone who has insulted you only perpetuates suffering. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior, but about releasing the burden of anger. It frees your heart from the weight of grudges, allowing you to move forward with lightness and clarity. Forgiveness also fosters compassion, deepening your understanding of others and strengthening your ability to respond with kindness. The practice of loving kindness, or metta, further supports this transformation. By cultivating goodwill toward yourself and others, you create an inner environment of peace and resilience. Loving kindness helps you respond to insults with grace, as your heart remains rooted in compassion rather than defensiveness. This practice extends beyond the immediate interaction, fostering a sense of connection and understanding that enriches all your relationships. One of the most profound teachings in handling offense is the realization that an insult only holds power if you accept it. When someone speaks harshly, their words are like a gift. If you choose not to take the gift, it remains with the giver. This perspective shifts the dynamic entirely, reminding you that you have the power to decide how much influence others' words have over you. This detachment brings freedom, allowing you to engage with criticism from a place of strength and stability. Insults also provide an opportunity to practice humility. The ego often seeks validation, clinging to an idealized image of itself. Criticism challenges this image, inviting you to let go of pride and embrace your humanity. Humility does not mean diminishing yourself, but recognizing that you are always growing, always learning. This perspective transforms criticism into a tool for self-discovery and growth. The practice of self-compassion is essential in navigating criticism. When faced with harsh words, it is easy to internalize them, to let them amplify your own self-doubt. Self-compassion counters this tendency, reminding you to treat yourself with kindness and understanding. It helps you see that you are not defined by others' opinions, that your worth is inherent and unshakable. This inner support becomes a source of strength, allowing you to face criticism with confidence. Over time, the practice of responding to insults with mindfulness, compassion, and non-attachment becomes a natural part of your being. These moments, once sources of pain, become opportunities for growth and transformation. They deepen your understanding of yourself and others, strengthening your ability to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. By embracing the teachings of Buddhism, you learn to see insults not as attacks, but as teachers. They reveal the attachments and insecurities that hold you back, offering a path toward greater freedom and peace. Through mindfulness, compassion, and humility, you transform the sting of harsh words into a profound source of wisdom and resilience. In this way, even the most difficult moments become stepping stones on your journey toward inner liberation. Criticism and insults test your ability to remain steady and compassionate, revealing attachments that bind your mind to suffering. But at the heart of these challenges lies an even deeper truth. Much of the turmoil we experience arises from our attachments. Attachments to outcomes, identities, people, or material possessions. These attachments create expectations, and when reality does not align with them, the result is frustration and sorrow. The Buddhist principle of letting go, or nekkhamma, offers a path to release these emotional burdens and rediscover the peace that comes from living with freedom and clarity. Letting go is not about abandonment or apathy. It is about unburdening yourself from the weight of clinging. Clinging often stems from the belief that happiness depends on possessing or controlling something external. Whether it is a relationship, a status, or even an idea of how life should be, attachment binds your peace to something fragile and impermanent. Letting go is the act of reclaiming your inner stability by detaching from what you cannot control and anchoring yourself in the present. The process begins with awareness. Many attachments operate subtly, woven so deeply into your thoughts and habits that they feel inseparable from who you are. Bringing mindfulness to these patterns helps you recognize where clinging arises, whether in your relationships, material possessions, or self-concepts. This awareness is not about judgment, but about clarity, a gentle acknowledgement of the attachments that create tension in your mind and heart. One of the most profound insights of letting go is understanding impermanence. Everything you hold on to, whether a cherished possession or a treasured relationship, will eventually change or fade. Resisting this truth only amplifies suffering. By accepting impermanence, you open yourself to the flow of life, allowing things to come and go without trying to grasp or control them. This acceptance does not diminish the value of what you love. It enhances it, teaching you to appreciate fully without fear of loss. Letting go also transforms how you approach relationships. Attachment often disguises itself as love, creating dependency and fear of separation. True love, however, flourishes in freedom. When you let go of clinging to others, you allow them to be fully themselves, and you release yourself from the anxiety of trying to control or possess them. This shift deepens your connections, fostering relationships rooted in mutual respect and genuine care, rather than need or expectation. Material possessions are another common source of attachment. While they can provide comfort and convenience, they often become symbols of identity or security. The more you cling to these symbols, the more they control you. Letting go of attachment to material things does not mean renouncing them entirely. It means changing your relationship with them. You begin to see possessions as tools rather than extensions of your worth. This perspective frees you from the endless cycle of craving and accumulation, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Self-identity is perhaps the most challenging attachment to release. The mind clings to labels, roles, and narratives that define who you think you are. These identities, while comforting, can become cages, limiting your growth and creating conflict when life challenges your self-concept. Letting go of rigid identities does not mean losing yourself. It means discovering the fluid, ever-changing nature of who you are. This flexibility brings a sense of freedom, allowing you to adapt and evolve without fear. Letting go also involves releasing expectations. Expectations create a gap between reality and desire, and when life does not meet these expectations, suffering arises. By releasing expectations, you learn to engage with life as it is, rather than as you think it should be. This openness fosters resilience, helping you navigate challenges with grace and equanimity. Forgiveness is a profound act of letting go. Holding on to resentment or anger ties you to the past, preventing you from moving forward. Forgiveness is not about condoning harm, but about freeing yourself from the grip of negative emotions. It is an act of self-liberation, a way of releasing the burden of pain and reclaiming your peace. Through forgiveness, you create space for healing and growth, both for yourself and for others. Mindfulness is essential in the practice of letting go. It anchors you in the present moment, helping you see clearly what is worth holding on to and what is causing unnecessary suffering. Mindfulness allows you to approach the process of letting go with intention and compassion, turning it into an act of self-care rather than sacrifice. It helps you navigate the discomfort of releasing attachments, reminding you that peace lies on the other side. Gratitude supports the practice of letting go by shifting your focus from what you lack to what you have. When you cultivate gratitude, you recognize the abundance already present in your life, reducing the urge to cling or grasp for more. Gratitude teaches you to appreciate the fleeting beauty of each moment, reinforcing the wisdom of living lightly and letting go. Renunciation, in the Buddhist sense, is not about deprivation, but about freedom. It is the act of releasing what does not serve your highest well-being, creating space for joy, clarity, and peace. This practice is deeply personal, requiring you to reflect on what you are holding on to and why. Renunciation is not a one-time act, but an ongoing process, a gentle peeling away of layers that no longer align with your values or purpose. Letting go also brings clarity to your priorities. When you release attachments, you free up energy and attention to focus on what truly matters, whether it is relationships, personal growth, or contributing to the well-being of others. This clarity helps you live with greater intention, aligning your actions with your deepest values. The practice of letting go is deeply connected to trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the unfolding of life, and trust in the impermanence that guides all things. This trust allows you to release fear and embrace the unknown, finding peace even in uncertainty. It is not blind faith, but a grounded confidence in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. Letting go does not mean detaching from joy. On the contrary, it deepens your capacity to experience joy by freeing you from the distractions and anxieties that attachments create. When you are no longer clinging to outcomes or possessions, you become more present to the simple, profound beauty of life as it is. This presence is the essence of peace, a state of being that cannot be shaken by external circumstances. Through the practice of letting go, you discover a profound sense of liberation. You realize that peace is not something to be attained, but something to be uncovered, hidden beneath the layers of clinging and resistance. Each act of letting go brings you closer to this truth, allowing you to live with a heart that is open, free, and rooted in lasting peace. Letting go unveils a profound sense of freedom, a release from the weight of attachments that tether the mind. Yet this freedom is not a one-time achievement. It requires consistent practice to nurture and sustain. Reflection and meditation become the tools that anchor this freedom, deepening your awareness and aligning your actions with the teachings of the Buddha. Through these daily practices, you cultivate not just calm, but a resilient peace that remains unshaken by life's turbulence. Daily reflection offers a mirror to the mind, allowing you to see clearly the thoughts, emotions, and patterns that shape your actions. This awareness is essential for growth. Without reflection, it is easy to fall into habitual responses, reacting to life without truly understanding your motivations. Reflection creates a pause, a space to observe rather than react, and in that space lies the power to choose actions that align with your values. Meditation amplifies this process, providing a structured way to train the mind. While the body rests, the mind learns to focus, to be present, and to let go of distractions. This practice is not about suppressing thoughts, but about observing them without attachment. In doing so, you begin to see thoughts for what they are, temporary, shifting currents that do not define you. This clarity helps you navigate challenges with greater ease, as you're no longer swept away by every wave of emotion or desire. Daily reflection connects you to the present moment, grounding you in the reality of now. The mind often oscillates between past regrets and future anxieties, pulling you away from the richness of the present. Reflection redirects your focus, reminding you that peace and understanding are found in this very moment. This grounding is especially important in times of stress, providing a refuge of calm amidst chaos. Meditation, too, cultivates this present moment awareness. By focusing on the breath, a mantra, or a visualization, you train the mind to return to the here and now. This practice strengthens your ability to remain steady, even when external circumstances are challenging. Over time, this steadiness becomes second nature, a foundation of resilience that supports you through life's ups and downs. Self-reflection is a deeply personal practice, one that requires honesty and compassion. It is not about judging yourself, but about understanding yourself. By examining your thoughts and actions with curiosity, you uncover the motivations and fears that drive them. This understanding is not an endpoint, but a starting point, a way to refine your intentions and align them more closely with the principles of mindfulness and compassion. Meditation complements this exploration, offering a space to process what reflection reveals. As you sit in stillness, insights arise naturally, unforced and unfiltered. These moments of clarity deepen your understanding of yourself and your relationship with the world. Meditation is not about escaping reality, but about seeing it more clearly, with all its complexities and interconnections. Both reflection and meditation foster a sense of gratitude. As you become more aware of your thoughts and experiences, you begin to see the many ways in which life supports you. Gratitude arises not from external achievements, but from the simple awareness of being alive, of breathing, of having the opportunity to grow and learn. This gratitude transforms your outlook, turning even ordinary moments into sources of joy. Through reflection, you also gain a deeper understanding of impermanence. Life is a constant flow of change, and clinging to what was, or fearing what will be, only creates suffering. Reflection helps you embrace this impermanence, teaching you to appreciate each moment without attachment. This perspective brings a sense of liberation, allowing you to move through life with grace and acceptance. Meditation strengthens this understanding by training the mind to let go. In meditation, you practice releasing thoughts and returning to your point of focus. This act of letting go, repeated over and over, becomes a habit that extends beyond the meditation cushion. You learn to release grudges, worries, and attachments with the same ease, creating space for peace and clarity. Daily reflection also serves as a way to measure your growth. By looking back on your thoughts, actions, and experiences, you can see patterns of progress and areas where further effort is needed. This awareness is not about perfection, but about steady improvement. Each day offers a new opportunity to align your life more closely with your values and aspirations. Meditation, in turn, provides the strength to make these changes. It cultivates patience, persistence, and focus, qualities that support you in navigating the challenges of growth. Meditation is not a quick fix, but a lifelong practice, one that deepens and evolves as you continue on your path. Through reflection and meditation, you also develop compassion, both for yourself and for others. Reflection reveals the ways in which you struggle, the fears and doubts that shape your actions. This understanding softens your judgments, replacing criticism with kindness. Meditation reinforces this compassion, creating a space of inner peace that extends outward to those around you. Compassion becomes not just a feeling, but a way of being, a guiding principle that informs every aspect of your life. These practices also cultivate humility. Reflection shows you that growth is a continuous journey, one that requires effort and openness. Meditation reminds you of the vastness of existence, the interconnectedness of all beings. This humility is not about diminishing yourself, but about recognizing your place within the greater whole. It fosters a sense of respect and gratitude for the people, experiences, and teachings that support you on your journey. Daily reflection and meditation also help you navigate the inevitable challenges of life. When faced with difficulty, these practices provide a steady anchor, a way to remain calm and clear amidst uncertainty. They teach you to approach challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. Each challenge becomes a lesson, each difficulty a teacher, guiding you toward greater understanding and resilience. Through these practices, you also cultivate a sense of purpose. Reflection helps you clarify your values and intentions, while meditation provides the focus and strength to act on them. Together, they create a sense of alignment between your inner world and your outer actions. This alignment brings a deep sense of fulfillment as you live each day with intention and integrity. Over time, reflection and meditation become more than practices. They become a way of life. They infuse every moment with awareness, gratitude, and compassion, transforming how you experience the world. Through these practices, you discover that peace is not something to be attained, but something to be uncovered, already present within you, waiting to be nurtured. By committing to daily reflection and meditation, you align yourself with the teachings of the Buddha, cultivating a mind that is steady, clear, and compassionate. These practices are not an escape from life's challenges, but a way to meet them with wisdom and grace. Through them, you discover the profound power of awareness, the joy of living with intention, and the unshakable calm that arises from truly knowing yourself. Daily reflection and meditation cultivate a steady mind and a compassionate heart, enabling you to navigate life with clarity and calm. Yet, even with these tools, life's adversities can strike with intensity, testing your resolve and pushing you to the edge of endurance. Buddhism offers a profound perspective on these challenges, teaching that suffering is not an enemy to be defeated, but a teacher to be embraced. It is within these moments of pain and difficulty that the seeds of wisdom and inner strength are planted, waiting to grow. Adversity often feels overwhelming because it disrupts the expectations and attachments we hold about how life should be. Loss, failure, or hardship strikes at the core of our desires, shaking the foundations of what feels secure. The Buddha taught that suffering, or dukkha, is an inherent part of existence, arising from clinging to impermanent things. This understanding shifts the focus from avoiding suffering to transforming it into a source of insight and growth. The first step in this transformation is acceptance. Resistance to suffering often amplifies its intensity, creating a cycle of frustration and despair. Acceptance is not resignation, but a recognition of reality as it is. By fully acknowledging the pain without judgment or denial, you create a space for healing to begin. This practice requires courage, the willingness to face discomfort head-on, trusting that within the struggle lies the potential for growth. Mindfulness becomes a vital ally in moments of adversity. By staying present with your experience, you observe the thoughts, emotions, and sensations that arise without becoming entangled in them. This detachment allows you to see suffering more clearly, to understand its roots and its impermanence. Mindfulness helps you navigate the storm without losing sight of the calm within, anchoring you in the here and now. Compassion, both for yourself and others, transforms how you relate to suffering. When faced with pain, the mind often turns inward with harsh criticism or blame. Self-compassion softens this response, reminding you that suffering is a shared human experience. It encourages kindness toward yourself, allowing you to approach your struggles with patience and understanding. Compassion for others, too, broadens your perspective, helping you see that everyone carries their own burdens. This shared understanding fosters connection and reduces the isolation that suffering often brings. Adversity often reveals hidden strengths, qualities that lie dormant until tested. Patience, resilience, and determination emerge in the face of challenges, showing you the depth of your inner resources. These strengths are not created by the adversity itself, but are uncovered through your response to it. Each difficulty becomes an opportunity to discover and refine these qualities, building a foundation of inner strength that supports you through future trials. The Buddhist concept of impermanence offers solace in times of suffering. Pain, like all experiences, is temporary. It arises, peaks, and fades, leaving behind only the lessons it imparts. Recognizing this impermanence does not diminish the intensity of suffering, but provides perspective, reminding you that no pain lasts forever. This understanding allows you to endure hardships with greater patience and hope. Adversity also challenges the ego, the part of the mind that clings to control and certainty. When life does not go as planned, the ego reacts with frustration or despair, clinging to the illusion that happiness depends on external circumstances. Buddhism teaches that true peace arises not from controlling life, but from letting go of this attachment. By releasing the need for things to be a certain way, you free yourself from much of the suffering that arises from unmet expectations. Reflection on suffering often reveals its deeper lessons. Difficulties teach humility, reminding you of your limitations and the interconnectedness of all beings. They challenge you to reassess your values, to focus on what truly matters rather than what is fleeting or superficial. They inspire gratitude for the moments of joy and ease, which often go unnoticed until contrasted with pain. Through adversity, you also develop empathy. Experiencing suffering firsthand deepens your ability to understand and connect with others in their struggles. This empathy fosters compassion and strengthens your relationships, creating a sense of shared humanity. It transforms suffering from a solitary experience into a bridge that connects you to others. Adversity often forces you to pause and reflect, breaking the momentum of habitual patterns. This disruption creates a space for growth, a chance to examine your life and make meaningful changes. Challenges reveal areas where attachment, fear, or insecurity hold you back, providing an opportunity to release these obstacles and move forward with greater clarity and freedom. Meditation supports this process by creating a sanctuary of stillness amidst the chaos. In meditation, you can sit with your suffering without being overwhelmed by it, observing its ebb and flow with curiosity and acceptance. This practice builds resilience, teaching you to face pain with equanimity rather than avoidance. Over time, meditation transforms your relationship with suffering, allowing you to approach it with openness and strength. The Buddhist principle of non-attachment is particularly powerful in transforming suffering. Clinging to outcomes, identities, or possessions often intensifies pain when they are lost or threatened. Non-attachment doesn't mean detachment from life, but engagement with it without grasping. It teaches you to appreciate what you have without fearing its loss, to find joy in the present rather than in what might be. Forgiveness is another profound practice in times of adversity. Holding on to anger or resentment only deepens suffering, tying you to the pain of the past. Forgiveness is not about condoning harm, but about releasing its hold on your heart. It is an act of self-liberation, a way to reclaim your peace and move forward with lightness and grace. Adversity also deepens your faith, whether in yourself, in the teachings of the Buddha, or in the larger flow of life. Faith is not blind optimism, but a grounded trust in your ability to navigate challenges and emerge stronger. This faith provides a steady anchor, a source of hope and strength in the darkest times. Through the lens of Buddhism, suffering is not an obstacle, but a teacher. It shows you where attachments and illusions create pain, guiding you toward greater freedom and understanding. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to practice mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom, to grow in ways that would not be possible in ease. Adversity, when approached with an open heart and mind, transforms not only your experience of pain, but your entire outlook on life. It teaches you to find meaning and purpose in the face of difficulty, to see even the hardest moments as integral to your journey. Through this transformation, suffering becomes not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as part of the unfolding path. The Buddha's teachings offer a roadmap for this transformation, showing you how to turn suffering into wisdom and adversity into strength. By applying these principles, you discover a profound resilience within yourself, a capacity for growth and peace that no challenge can take away. In this way, every hardship becomes a stepping stone on the path to spiritual liberation and inner peace. Adversity reveals how much power your mind holds, shaping your experience of suffering and resilience. It teaches that the mind, when left unchecked, can become its own source of struggle, spinning narratives that amplify pain and feed worry. But within this very realization lies the key to liberation, the understanding that you are not your thoughts. Buddhism offers profound and practical tools to stop your thoughts from controlling you, teaching you how to reclaim your peace and clarity by breaking free from the patterns that trap your mind. The first step to breaking free from mental control is awareness. Thoughts are like clouds, constantly forming, shifting and dissolving. Often they feel overwhelming because you unconsciously identify with them, believing they define who you are. By cultivating awareness, you begin to see thoughts as events in the mind rather than absolute truths. This perspective helps you observe thoughts without becoming entangled in them. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of this practice. By focusing on the present moment, mindfulness anchors you to what is real and tangible, reducing the power of intrusive or repetitive thoughts. A common mindfulness exercise is to focus on the breath, using its natural rhythm as a point of return when the mind begins to wander. Over time, this practice creates a habit of gently guiding your attention away from unhelpful thoughts and back to the present. Letting go of judgment is essential when working with your thoughts. The mind often creates additional layers of stress by labeling thoughts as good or bad, right or wrong. This judgment fuels resistance and intensifies mental turmoil. Instead, approach your thoughts with curiosity and neutrality, acknowledging their presence without adding emotional weight. This shift reduces their hold over you and allows them to pass more easily. Another transformative tool is the practice of labeling thoughts. By naming the type of thought, whether it's worry, planning, self-criticism, or something else, you create a sense of distance from it. This labeling reminds you that the thought is just a thought, not an absolute reality. It also helps you identify recurring patterns, providing insight into the mind's tendencies and triggers. Physical grounding techniques are also effective in managing intrusive thoughts. When the mind feels chaotic, redirecting your focus to physical sensations, such as the feeling of your feet on the ground or the texture of an object in your hand, helps you reconnect with the present moment. This grounding breaks the cycle of mental rumination, offering a sense of stability and calm. Meditation is a powerful practice for reducing the control of thoughts. Through meditation, you train the mind to observe thoughts without attachment, cultivating a sense of spaciousness and clarity. Techniques such as focused attention, where you concentrate on a single point, like the breath or a mantra, help quiet the mental chatter. Over time, meditation builds resilience, enabling you to face even the most persistent thoughts with equanimity. Another practical approach is to challenge the validity of your thoughts. The mind often presents thoughts as absolute truths, even when they are distorted or exaggerated. By questioning these thoughts, asking whether they are based on evidence or whether they serve your well-being, you begin to dismantle their power. This practice is not about suppressing thoughts, but about seeing them with clarity and discernment. Compassion plays a crucial role in freeing yourself from mental control. Harsh self-criticism and negative inner dialogue often feed cycles of rumination and distress. By cultivating self-compassion, you soften this inner narrative, replacing it with kindness and understanding. Compassion reminds you that struggling with thoughts is a universal experience, reducing the isolation that mental struggles can bring. The Buddhist principle of impermanence offers a profound perspective on thoughts. No thought, no matter how intense or repetitive, lasts forever. This understanding helps you ride out mental storms with patience, knowing that they will pass. It also reduces the urgency to act on every thought, creating a sense of peace and stability. Gratitude shifts your focus from mental turmoil to the abundance in your life. When intrusive thoughts dominate your mind, taking a moment to reflect on what you appreciate breaks their momentum. Gratitude does not erase difficult thoughts, but balances them with a broader perspective, reminding you of the beauty and support present in your life. Engaging in mindful activities is another way to redirect the mind. Whether it's cooking, gardening, or walking, immersing yourself fully in a task helps break the cycle of overthinking. These activities create a sense of flow, where the mind is focused and calm. They also reinforce the practice of mindfulness, integrating it into your daily life. Setting boundaries with your thoughts is a powerful practice. When intrusive thoughts arise, it can be helpful to set aside a specific time to address them, rather than letting them dominate your day. For example, dedicating 10 minutes to journaling about your concerns allows you to acknowledge and process them without being consumed by them. This boundary creates a sense of control and structure, reducing mental overwhelm. Breathing techniques offer an immediate way to calm the mind. Deep, slow breaths activate the body's relaxation response, countering the stress and tension that often accompany intrusive thoughts. Practices such as diaphragmatic breathing or alternate nostril breathing create a sense of balance and focus, grounding you in the present moment. Visualization can also be a helpful tool for managing thoughts. By creating a mental image of a peaceful place or visualizing your thoughts drifting away like leaves on a stream, you provide the mind with a calming focal point. This practice shifts your attention away from distressing thoughts, offering a sense of relief and relaxation. Physical activity is another effective way to quiet the mind. Movement, whether it's yoga, running, or dancing, releases pent-up energy and reduces the intensity of mental chatter. Exercise also stimulates the release of endorphins, promoting a sense of well-being and reducing the impact of negative thoughts. Connecting with nature offers a profound sense of perspective and calm. Spending time outdoors, whether in a park, forest, or by the sea, grounds you in the larger rhythms of life. Nature's stillness and beauty provide a counterbalance to mental turbulence, reminding you of the interconnectedness and impermanence of all things. Practicing non-attachment is key to reducing the control of thoughts. Non-attachment does not mean indifference, but a willingness to let go of the need to control or fix every thought. It teaches you to engage with thoughts without clinging to them, creating a sense of freedom and ease. Community and connection also play an important role in managing the mind. Sharing your struggles with trusted friends, family, or a meditation group provides support and perspective. Hearing others' experiences reminds you that you are not alone in your challenges, fostering a sense of belonging and resilience. Integrating mindfulness into daily routines helps you create a consistent practice of awareness. Whether it's mindful eating, listening, or walking, these practices build the habit of staying present, reducing the influence of intrusive thoughts. Over time, mindfulness becomes second nature, creating a foundation of calm and clarity. Journaling offers a way to process and release thoughts. Writing down your concerns, reflections, or insights helps you externalize them, reducing their emotional intensity. Journaling also provides a space for self-discovery, helping you identify patterns and explore solutions. Embracing the practice of gratitude and reflection at the end of each day allows you to release mental burdens. By focusing on what went well or what you learned, you shift your attention away from worries, creating a sense of closure and peace. Through these practices, you gradually reclaim your mind, transforming it from a source of struggle into a tool for peace and growth. The Buddha's teachings remind you that freedom from mental control is not about erasing thoughts, but about changing your relationship with them. With patience and persistence, you cultivate a mind that is steady, clear, and unshakable, guiding you toward a life of wisdom and inner peace. Reclaiming control over your thoughts lays the foundation for a more peaceful and intentional life. Yet, the mind's influence often manifests not just in what you think, but in how you react. Emotions can surge like waves, pushing you toward words or actions that may lead to regret. Learning to master the power of non-reaction transforms these moments, allowing you to respond to life's challenges with clarity and wisdom. In the teachings of Buddhism, the strength to pause, observe, and choose your response is a profound path to emotional freedom. Reactivity is born from conditioning. The mind, shaped by past experiences, often reacts automatically to triggers, cycling through patterns of anger, fear, or sadness. These reactions can feel instinctive, but they are not unchangeable. Buddhism teaches that reactivity arises from attachment to how things should be, how you want to be treated, or how the world should conform to your expectations. When these attachments are disrupted, emotions flare and reactions follow. Understanding this cycle is the first step toward breaking free. Mindfulness serves as the gateway to non-reaction. By cultivating awareness of the present moment, you develop the ability to observe your emotions as they arise. This observation is not about suppression or denial, but about seeing emotions for what they are, temporary states that do not define you. Mindfulness creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing you to pause before acting. In that pause lies your power to choose a response aligned with your values and intentions. Equanimity, a central concept in Buddhism, is the practice of maintaining balance in the face of both positive and negative experiences. It is not indifference, but a steady calmness that arises from understanding the impermanence of all things. When emotions surge, equanimity reminds you that no feeling, no matter how intense, is permanent. This awareness reduces the urgency to react, helping you remain grounded and composed. Breath awareness is a practical tool for cultivating non-reaction. When emotions rise, the breath often becomes shallow or erratic, reflecting the turmoil within. By consciously deepening and slowing your breath, you activate the body's relaxation response, calming both mind and body. This simple practice not only soothes immediate distress, but also strengthens your ability to approach challenges with a clear mind. Compassion is another transformative practice in controlling emotional reactions. Anger, frustration, and defensiveness often arise from a sense of separation or threat. Compassion bridges this gap, helping you see the humanity in others and in yourself. When faced with provocation, Responding with compassion shifts your perspective, reducing the intensity of negative emotions and fostering connection rather than conflict. Letting go of judgment is crucial in mastering non-reaction. The mind tends to label experiences as good or bad, desirable or undesirable, creating emotional swings that drive reactivity. By releasing these judgments, you approach each moment with openness and acceptance, reducing the emotional charge of triggers. This practice does not mean condoning harmful behavior, but recognizing that your peace is not dependent on external circumstances. Patience is a powerful ally in non-reaction. Emotions often demand immediate action, urging you to speak or act in the heat of the moment. Patience gives you the strength to wait, to let the intensity of the emotions subside before responding. This pause allows wisdom to guide your actions, ensuring that they align with your values rather than your impulses. Self-awareness is essential in understanding the roots of your reactions. By reflecting on your triggers and patterns, you uncover the underlying fears or attachments that fuel your emotions. This understanding empowers you to address these roots directly, reducing their influence over your behavior. Self-awareness is not about blame, but about curiosity and growth, a compassionate exploration of your inner world. Forgiveness plays a vital role in reducing emotional reactivity. Holding on to past grievances creates a reservoir of resentment that can spill over into your present interactions. Forgiveness releases this burden, freeing you from the cycle of anger and blame. It is not about excusing harm, but about reclaiming your peace, breaking the hold that past wounds have over your emotions. Meditation strengthens your ability to remain non-reactive by training the mind to stay present and focused. Practices such as loving-kindness meditation, where you cultivate goodwill toward yourself and others, help soften the edges of anger and frustration. Insight meditation deepens your understanding of impermanence and interdependence, providing the wisdom to navigate emotional challenges with grace. Non-reaction does not mean passivity. It is an active choice to engage with life from a place of clarity and strength, rather than being driven by fleeting emotions. This practice empowers you to respond thoughtfully, whether by setting boundaries, offering compassion, or taking decisive action. Non-reaction is about aligning your responses with your highest intentions, ensuring that they contribute to peace rather than perpetuate conflict. Gratitude offers a practical way to shift focus during emotional turbulence. When faced with frustration or anger, taking a moment to reflect on what you appreciate can break the cycle of negativity. Gratitude redirects your attention to the positive aspects of your life, creating a sense of balance that reduces the intensity of emotional reactions. Engaging in physical activity provides a healthy outlet for emotional energy. Emotions like anger or anxiety often manifest physically, creating tension or restlessness. Activities such as walking, yoga, or even deep stretching help release this tension, creating a sense of calm that supports non-reaction. Physical movement reconnects you with your body, grounding you in the present moment. Seeking perspective is another valuable practice. When emotions feel overwhelming, reminding yourself of the larger picture helps put the situation into context. This perspective reduces the sense of urgency or importance attached to the trigger, allowing you to approach it with greater calm. Perspective also fosters humility, reminding you that no single moment defines your life or worth. Journaling offers a way to process and reflect on your emotions without reacting impulsively. Writing down your thoughts and feelings creates a safe space for exploration, helping you gain clarity and insight. This practice allows you to release emotional energy constructively, reducing its impact on your interactions. Connecting with nature provides a grounding influence that supports emotional balance. The rhythms of the natural world, its stillness, cycles, and vastness, offer a soothing contrast to the intensity of emotions. Spending time outdoors reminds you of the interconnectedness of all life, fostering a sense of peace and perspective that reduces reactivity. Non-reaction also requires a commitment to self-compassion. Mistakes and missteps are inevitable, and harsh self-criticism only deepens emotional turmoil. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a supportive inner environment that nurtures growth and resilience. Self-compassion transforms non-reaction from a discipline into a practice of self-love. Finally, non-reaction is a practice of liberation. By freeing yourself from the grip of automatic responses, you reclaim your agency and integrity. Each moment of pause, each act of mindfulness builds a foundation of inner strength that carries you through life's challenges. The power of not reacting is not about suppression, but about mastery. A mastery that transforms your relationship with yourself and the world. Through this practice, you discover a profound sense of peace, rooted not in the absence of emotions, but in the freedom to choose your response with wisdom and compassion. Mastering the power of non-reaction opens the door to immense inner freedom, showing that peace arises not from controlling the world around you, but from navigating it with clarity and wisdom. At the heart of this practice lies a question that shapes how many approach life's challenges. Where does ultimate responsibility lie? For Buddhists, this inquiry moves beyond the need for divine intervention or external authority. Instead, it invites profound self-reliance, grounded in a philosophy that empowers individuals to take charge of their spiritual paths. This raises a compelling question. Why does Buddhism take such a distinctive stance on the idea of God? The Buddha's teachings focus on understanding and overcoming suffering, guiding individuals to liberation through their own efforts. Central to this approach is the idea that suffering arises not from external forces, but from the mind's attachments and delusions. This emphasis on self-discovery and inner transformation removes the need for a creator or divine overseer. Instead, the Buddha pointed to universal truths that could be observed and tested in one's own experience. Buddhism views existence through the lens of impermanence and interdependence. Everything arises and ceases due to causes and conditions, a cycle that leaves little room for an unchanging, eternal deity. The teachings highlight the natural law of karma, which emphasizes that actions lead to consequences, creating the framework for ethical living without invoking divine judgment. This perspective fosters personal accountability, encouraging individuals to take full responsibility for their choices and their impact on the world. The absence of belief in a creator does not mean that Buddhism denies the existence of higher realms or spiritual beings. In Buddhist cosmology, various realms of existence are recognized, including those of gods or celestial beings. However, these beings are seen as impermanent, subject to the same cycle of birth, death, and rebirth as all other forms of life. Their existence does not imply ultimate authority or omnipotence, reinforcing the Buddhist view that liberation depends on one's own effort and understanding. The Buddha's reluctance to address metaphysical questions about creation or divine beings stems from his pragmatic approach to spirituality. He taught that dwelling on such questions often distracts from the urgent task of ending suffering. When asked about the existence of God or the origins of the universe, The Buddha often redirected the conversation to practical teachings on mindfulness, ethical conduct, and the cultivation of wisdom. This focus on what can be known and practiced underscores the experiential nature of Buddhism. For Buddhists, the concept of liberation is deeply personal and experiential. Rather than seeking salvation from an external source, practitioners aim to awaken to the true nature of reality through practices such as meditation, reflection, and ethical living. This awakening, often referred to as enlightenment or nirvana, is not granted by a deity, but realized through direct insight. The emphasis on self-effort empowers individuals to take charge of their spiritual journey, fostering a sense of agency and responsibility. Buddhist teachings also emphasize the concept of anatta, or non-self, which challenges the notion of a permanent, unchanging essence. This principle extends to the idea of God as an eternal being, further distinguishing Buddhism from theistic traditions. By deconstructing the illusion of a fixed self, Buddhism encourages practitioners to see the interconnected and impermanent nature of all things, leading to freedom from attachment and suffering. Compassion is a cornerstone of Buddhist practice, and this compassion extends to all beings, regardless of status or belief. While some traditions may view belief in God as a prerequisite for morality, Buddhism holds that ethical conduct arises from understanding the interconnectedness of all life. Acts of kindness, generosity, and forgiveness are seen as natural expressions of this understanding, rooted in a desire to reduce suffering rather than to please a deity. The Buddhist approach to spirituality is deeply inclusive, welcoming individuals from all backgrounds and beliefs. The absence of dogma about God allows Buddhism to focus on universal truths that transcend cultural and religious boundaries. This openness has enabled Buddhism to flourish in diverse contexts, adapting its teachings to meet the needs of different communities while maintaining its core principles. One of the most profound aspects of Buddhist wisdom is its emphasis on the here and now. While theistic traditions may focus on preparing for an afterlife or achieving divine favor, Buddhism directs attention to the present moment, where true transformation occurs. This focus aligns with the practice of mindfulness, which cultivates awareness and presence, helping practitioners navigate life's challenges with clarity and grace. The question of God also intersects with the Buddhist understanding of suffering. In theistic frameworks, suffering is often attributed to divine will or punishment, raising complex questions about justice and mercy. Buddhism, however, views suffering as a natural consequence of ignorance, attachment, and craving. By addressing these root causes, practitioners can work toward liberation, bypassing the need for external intervention or justification. The Buddhist emphasis on wisdom and understanding fosters a sense of independence and self-reliance. Practitioners are encouraged to question teachings, including those of the Buddha himself, and to verify their validity through personal experience. This critical approach contrasts with traditions that may require unquestioning faith in divine authority. For Buddhists, the path to liberation is not about belief, but about practice and insight. Buddhist meditation practices play a key role in this journey, offering a direct way to explore the nature of reality and the mind. Through meditation, practitioners develop concentration, mindfulness, and insight, uncovering truths that transcend conceptual thinking. This experiential approach bypasses the need for intermediaries or divine figures, placing the responsibility for awakening squarely in the hands of the individual. The absence of belief in God does not diminish the depth or richness of Buddhist spirituality. On the contrary, It invites a profound exploration of life's mysteries through direct experience and inquiry. The teachings encourage practitioners to embrace uncertainty and to find meaning in the impermanence and interconnectedness of all things. This perspective fosters a sense of wonder and humility, inspiring a deep reverence for the natural world and the cycles of existence. Buddhism's approach to the divine reflects its broader philosophy of balance and moderation. It neither affirms nor denies the existence of God, focusing instead on the practical path to liberation. This middle way avoids extremes, allowing individuals to explore their beliefs while staying grounded in the present. The flexibility of this approach makes Buddhism accessible to those with diverse perspectives, creating a space for dialogue and understanding. Ultimately, the Buddhist path is one of empowerment. It teaches that the answers to life's deepest questions lie not in the heavens, but within your own heart and mind. By turning inward and cultivating awareness, compassion, and wisdom, you discover a profound sense of freedom and peace that no external force can provide. This journey is not about rejecting belief, but about embracing the power of direct experience and self-discovery. Through the lens of Buddhist wisdom, the absence of a belief in God is not a limitation, but an invitation to explore the boundless potential of your own mind and spirit. It challenges you to take full responsibility for your path, to seek truth through practice and reflection, and to awaken to the interconnected beauty of existence. In this way, Buddhism offers a universal message of hope and liberation, guiding you toward a life of purpose, compassion, and inner peace. The exploration of self-reliance and spiritual independence reveals the profound strength that lies within each individual. Yet, even in the pursuit of wisdom and liberation, there is a delicate balance to maintain, especially in how kindness is expressed. Gautama Buddha's teachings remind us that unchecked kindness, while rooted in good intentions, can lead to unintended harm. The act of being overly kind often arises from a desire to please others or avoid conflict, but when it disregards boundaries or self-respect, it undermines the very harmony it seeks to create. Understanding the fine line between genuine compassion and overextending oneself is a vital aspect of walking the path with integrity and wisdom. Kindness in its purest form is an expression of compassion and connection. However, when kindness is driven by fear of rejection, obligation, or a misplaced sense of duty, it becomes a burden rather than a gift. The Buddha emphasized the importance of balance in all things, including how one interacts with others. Being kind does not mean sacrificing your own well-being or compromising your values. True kindness is rooted in authenticity, guided by wisdom, and tempered with the courage to set boundaries. Overextending kindness often stems from a misunderstanding of compassion. Compassion is not about fixing others or taking on their burdens. It is about understanding their suffering and offering support without losing yourself in the process. The Buddha taught that to truly help others, you must first cultivate your own inner strength and clarity. Just as a tree must be firmly rooted to provide shade, you must be grounded in self-awareness to offer kindness that is meaningful and sustainable. When kindness becomes a means of avoiding conflict, it often leads to resentment and imbalance in relationships. Agreeing to things you do not want to do, suppressing your needs, or prioritizing others at your own expense can create an internal dissonance that erodes your peace. The Buddha's teachings on right speech and right action emphasize the importance of aligning your words and deeds with truth and integrity. This alignment ensures that your kindness is genuine and free from hidden frustration or regret. The practice of mindfulness is key to understanding when kindness is genuine and when it is excessive. By observing your intentions and emotions, you gain clarity about why you are acting in a particular way. Are you being kind out of compassion, or are you trying to avoid discomfort? Are you offering help freely, or do you feel pressured to do so? Mindfulness helps you make conscious choices, ensuring that your actions are guided by wisdom rather than habit or fear. Boundaries are an essential part of compassionate living. Setting limits does not make you unkind. It protects your energy and well-being, allowing you to give from a place of abundance rather than depletion. Boundaries also teach others to respect you, fostering healthier and more balanced relationships. The Buddha's teachings encourage the practice of right effort, which involves directing your energy toward what is wholesome and beneficial. Overextending kindness without boundaries often leads to exhaustion, which undermines your ability to be present and effective in your interactions. Kindness must also be balanced with discernment. The Buddha spoke of upaya, or skillful means, which involves understanding the most appropriate way to act in a given situation. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is to say no, or to step back, allowing others to face their challenges and grow. Overprotectiveness, even when motivated by care, can hinder others' development and create dependency. Discernment allows you to offer support in ways that empower others without enabling unhealthy patterns. Authenticity is another crucial aspect of balanced kindness. When you suppress your true feelings to maintain a facade of kindness, you not only betray yourself, but also create superficial connections. True kindness arises from honesty and transparency, where your actions reflect your genuine intentions. The Buddha emphasized the importance of self-awareness and integrity, reminding us that kindness rooted in authenticity fosters trust and mutual respect. Self-compassion is a vital counterpart to kindness toward others. Without self-compassion, kindness can become self-sacrificial, leading to burnout and resentment. The Buddha taught that compassion must begin with yourself, as you cannot pour from an empty cup. Treating yourself with the same care and respect that you extend to others creates a foundation of inner balance, allowing you to give freely without depleting your own resources. The practice of metta, or loving kindness meditation, provides a way to cultivate balanced kindness. This meditation begins with extending goodwill to yourself, then gradually extending it to others, including those who are difficult or challenging. By practicing metta, you develop an understanding that kindness must be inclusive, encompassing both self and others in equal measure. The fear of being perceived as unkind often drives excessive kindness. This fear stems from attachment to others' approval and the desire to be liked. The Buddha's teachings on non-attachment remind us that our worth is not dependent on external validation. By letting go of the need to please others, you free yourself to act with authenticity and integrity, offering kindness that is unconditional and free from ulterior motives. Kindness also requires the courage to face discomfort. Saying no, expressing your needs, or addressing conflicts may feel uncomfortable, but these actions are often necessary for maintaining healthy relationships and personal well-being. The Buddha taught that courage arises from understanding and wisdom, enabling you to navigate challenges with confidence and grace. True kindness includes the willingness to have difficult conversations and to stand firm in your truth when needed. Overextending kindness can sometimes lead to enabling harmful behavior. The Buddha's teachings on right view encourage a clear understanding of cause and effect, helping you discern when your actions support growth and when they perpetuate harm. kindness that enables dependency, manipulation, or self-destructive behavior is not truly compassionate. By acting with clarity and wisdom, you ensure that your kindness contributes to the well-being of all involved. Balanced kindness also involves recognizing your limitations. You cannot solve every problem or meet every need, and acknowledging this reality allows you to focus your energy where it can have the greatest impact. The Buddha's teachings on impermanence remind us that all things, including your capacity to help, are finite. Accepting this truth fosters a sense of humility and peace, helping you let go of unrealistic expectations. The practice of non-attachment is central to understanding the balance between kindness and self-care. Non-attachment does not mean detachment, but a willingness to let go of the need to control or fix others. It allows you to offer kindness without becoming entangled in the outcomes, creating a sense of freedom and ease in your interactions. Kindness is most powerful when it is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. The Buddha's teachings on interconnectedness remind us that every act of kindness creates ripples that extend far beyond the immediate moment. By acting with integrity and balance, you contribute to a larger web of compassion and harmony, inspiring others to do the same. Ultimately, the practice of kindness is about creating harmony within yourself and in your relationships. The Buddha's wisdom teaches that true kindness is not about pleasing others, but about aligning your actions with your values and intentions. By cultivating mindfulness, self-awareness, and discernment, you learn to offer kindness that is authentic, balanced, and empowering, enriching both your life and the lives of those around you. The balance between kindness and self-respect reveals the subtle interplay of actions and intentions, but beneath even this lies a deeper wisdom, the power of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as the absence of action or voice, yet it holds profound strength and clarity. It is not an empty void, but a space rich with potential, where insight is born and understanding deepens. In silence, you find the stillness to listen, reflect, and act with purpose. The Buddha and Zen traditions celebrate silence not merely as a practice, but as a transformative state, offering priceless benefits for the mind and spirit. Silence allows the mind to rest, free from the constant noise of external distractions and inner dialogue. In a world where words are often exchanged without thought, silence provides an opportunity to step back and observe. It is within this stillness that clarity emerges, revealing truths that are easily obscured by the chaos of daily life. When you choose silence, you create a space to understand your thoughts and emotions, recognizing patterns that drive your reactions. The power of silence lies in its ability to foster deep listening. Often in conversations, the mind races ahead, preparing responses instead of truly absorbing what is being said. Silence teaches you to pause and engage with the present moment fully, offering your complete attention. This kind of listening not only strengthens connections with others, but also nurtures empathy and understanding. The Buddha emphasized that wisdom often arises not from speaking, but from listening with an open heart and mind. In silence, you cultivate self-awareness. The constant chatter of the mind often masks deeper truths, but when you embrace stillness, you can observe your inner world without judgment. This practice helps you uncover the motivations, fears, and attachments that influence your actions. By understanding these internal forces, you gain the freedom to act with greater clarity and intention. Silence also sharpens focus. When distractions are minimized, the mind naturally becomes more concentrated, enabling you to approach tasks and challenges with greater efficiency. The practice of silence, particularly in meditation, trains the mind to remain steady and undisturbed, even in the face of external noise or internal turmoil. This focus is not rigid but fluid, allowing you to adapt to changing circumstances with ease. One of the most profound benefits of silence is its ability to reduce reactivity. In moments of conflict or stress, the impulse to speak or act often leads to escalation. Silence provides a pause, a chance to step back and consider your response. This pause is not passive. It is a deliberate choice to respond with wisdom rather than react out of habit. The Buddha taught that silence, when combined with mindfulness, is a powerful tool for cultivating equanimity and compassion. Silence is a sanctuary for reflection. In the quiet, you can revisit your experiences, considering what aligns with your values and what needs adjustment. This reflective practice is not about dwelling on the past, but about learning from it, using insights to guide your future actions. By embracing silence, you create a space for growth, where lessons from both successes and failures can take root. The practice of silence extends beyond the absence of speech. It includes quieting the mind. Thoughts often rush unbidden, creating noise even in physical stillness. Through practices like meditation, you learn to observe these thoughts without becoming entangled in them. This mental silence fosters a sense of peace, allowing you to approach life's challenges with a calm and composed mind. Silence also deepens your connection to the present moment. In the absence of distractions, you become more attuned to the sensations, sounds, and rhythms of your environment. This heightened awareness enhances your appreciation for life's simple pleasures, reminding you that peace and joy are often found in the most unassuming moments. The strength of silence is evident in its role in communication. Paradoxically, silence can speak volumes, conveying respect, contemplation, or emotional depth. In relationships, the ability to sit in comfortable silence with someone often reflects a deeper connection, one that goes beyond words. Silence allows space for understanding to grow, fostering trust and intimacy. Silence is also a powerful tool for self-regulation. When emotions run high, the act of remaining silent gives you time to process your feelings and choose your response thoughtfully. This self-control prevents impulsive actions that may lead to regret, preserving your inner peace and the harmony of your relationships. The Buddha often highlighted the importance of speaking only when words are beneficial, reminding us that silence is sometimes the most compassionate choice. The stillness of silence fosters creativity. Without the constant input of external noise, the mind is free to explore new ideas and connections. This creative energy often arises unexpectedly in moments of quiet, revealing solutions or insights that might have been overlooked in busier times. Silence nurtures the imagination, allowing you to approach challenges with fresh perspectives. In Zen traditions, silence is seen as a path to enlightenment. The practice of silent meditation, or zazen, encourages practitioners to go beyond words and concepts, exploring the nature of reality directly. This direct experience of silence opens the door to profound insights, breaking through the illusions that often cloud the mind. In this way, silence becomes not just a practice, but a profound state of being. Silence also cultivates humility. By stepping back from the need to assert opinions or dominate conversations, you create space for others to express themselves. This humility fosters mutual respect, strengthening relationships and creating a sense of community. The Buddha often modeled this humility, using silence to demonstrate wisdom and patience in the face of questions or challenges. The practice of silence teaches patience. In a culture that often values quick responses and instant gratification, silence reminds you to slow down and embrace the natural rhythm of life. Patience, nurtured through silence, extends to all areas of life, helping you navigate challenges with grace and resilience. Silence is a refuge in times of overwhelm. When the world feels chaotic or demands become too great, retreating into silence provides a moment of peace and renewal. This practice is not about escaping responsibilities, but about creating a space to recharge and reconnect with your inner strength. The Buddha's teachings emphasize the importance of finding balance, and silence serves as a powerful tool for achieving this equilibrium. In the silence, you may also encounter a deeper sense of connection to the world around you. The stillness allows you to see the interdependence of all life, fostering a sense of compassion and gratitude. This connection inspires a more mindful and intentional way of living, grounded in an awareness of your place within the larger whole. The transformative power of silence lies in its ability to create space for thought, for growth, for connection. By embracing silence, you cultivate a mind that is steady and clear, a heart that is open and compassionate. The Buddha's wisdom on silence is a reminder that some of the most profound truths are found not in words, but in the stillness between them. Through silence, you discover a strength that is unshakable, a peace that is enduring, and a wisdom that transcends the noise of the world. The teachings of Buddhism guide us to a life of unshakable peace, where nothing external can disturb the stillness within. From letting go of attachments to embracing impermanence, from mastering patience to discovering the profound power of silence, these principles show us how to navigate life's challenges with wisdom, grace, and resilience. They teach us that true freedom lies not in changing the world around us, but in transforming how we respond to it. These practices are not abstract ideals, but tools for daily living. When you cultivate mindfulness, embrace compassion, and live in alignment with the principles of ethical conduct, you lay the foundation for a mind and heart that remain unshaken by the storms of life. Through self-reflection and inner discipline, you learn to see challenges as opportunities for growth and suffering as a teacher that deepens your understanding of the path. Now, we want to hear from you. Which of these principles resonates with you the most? Have you already applied some of these teachings in your life, or are you inspired to begin today? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights and reflections are a vital part of this community's growth. If you found these teachings meaningful and want to continue exploring the wisdom of Buddhism, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon to stay updated with new content that inspires and empowers. Together, let's journey toward inner peace and a life of unshakable strength. Thank you for being part of this incredible community. Stay mindful, stay kind, and stay free.